Hey, welcome to the show, everybody. Welcome to the Council on Future Conflict, episode 645. We're talking Iran War Day 20 and Muslims. Speaking of insurgents, we have an insurgency, a green threat, if you will, an insider threat in the wire, and it is known as Linux. And that is what I blame our entire tardiness on.
It was Windows. If I hadn't tried to fix Windows, I'd have been fine.
Watcher. So you've been running Linux all these years, and it's the new installation of Windows. It's the new installation of Linux
for the last
to the
2
Windows
months.
that was working.
I've been running Linux for the last 2 months because Windows wasn't working. And then
Joe, I feel like this is a beaten wife, making excuses for her asshole husband.
I'm back on Linux now because I couldn't get Windows working again. That was literally the point of this whole exercise, was trying to make Windows work again.
I think, chat, you guys are understanding what I'm putting down here.
I think that you two should talk at the same time more often.
Yes, that is the best content.
Yes. That is the content we're here for. You know what the content I am here for over the last 24 hours? And it is Afro Man. It is 100%.
Yes.
Afro Man.
So we'll hold off on playing the Afro Man content for just a second because I want to say hello to everybody. It's been too long. I haven't been around since last Friday, and even that I felt like I was half unconscious. Because I was working the day shift, or maybe the night shift. Day shift for you guys, night shift for me. So it was. Joe. One of the things about it is I was seeing tweets from all my friends live. Because you guys tweet during the day, and I was like, but I was on my alt account, so but none of you guys know it's me. I told Don, I was like, Don, follow me, so I can DM you. And he's like, who's this fucking idiot?
Hey, speaking of alt accounts, I got the okay last night to go ahead and create a Camp Ponderosa Twitter account.
Oh, very cool.
We're going to make that happen here in the next 48 hours. So,
yeah, that'll be awesome. I think that's well-deserved. All kinds of images and things like that from all the various events.
Yeah.
And Joe, I'm expecting to see literally pictures galore so everybody can see all the things that you're always talking about. So there's a lot of beauty there in that.
Lion tracks and trail cam videos and videos of the range and all that other good stuff. So lots going on. We did get a bunch of blue barrels for the range for those who have wondered. So we're now able to do a little more dynamic stuff on it, and watch for Kay to be putting some more classes up. He and I were talking the last couple of nights on what he's going to do here, and pretty cool. And those who have met Kay, great dude, does the digital privacy stuff. He has been invited to speak at the Montana Homeschooling Symposium, and he's going to talk about securing your computers for your teenagers who homeschool. And I think that's an important thing. And I believe the words Linux will come out of his mouth 37 times. So.
Yeah. Don, how you doing, brother? It's been I say been too long. You're probably like, it's been just long enough.
Right. Well, so I'm attempting not to die of the man flu, and that could be relevant insofar as I might disappear early. But other than that, nothing's gone too terrible. I'm not dead yet. And since I am supposed to be dead some 10 or 20 times by now, since the Iran war started for sure, I feel like I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's good to hear your voice. You always got a good take on things. And, we haven't talked since they've released information about them using rocket artillery. The Army killed a sub and all kinds of other interesting cross fires using ATACMs and prisms and things like that. So we'll have to chat about that a little bit. Watcher, how you doing, brother?
Doing all right. Just still not quite finished with the current fixes. I'm on the laptop again, but I think I might need to do another restart. But other than that, doing good. I am happy to report that all except for one package has been sent out the door that does not include what I am sure, because I've dealt with post office before, are going to be returns. One other person who's reached out and said that they their package got sent. They needed to update it. They didn't update it in the system. They just kind of sent us a message that nobody saw. And so their package got delivered to the wrong address. And I'm assuming that the answer there is we're just going to comp it and send them another.
Exactly right. We just that's the whole point of ordering extras anyway, is so that when shit just disappears, like, I hate to say it, even if we got a delivery confirmation on somebody, unless I have video of them having it in their hands, if they say,
right.
"Hey, I never got it," then I would just send them another one. Right? It's just so much easier to do that. So we're literally down to the last packet. Didn't you say the last one is literally a guy who had a fictional address?
Yeah, it is a person who, like, the town is real, the zip code matches to the town, but the address they gave me pulls up as not being real in both the mail system and Google Maps. So I have no idea.
It's not me, is it? Because me and the Postal Service have a disagreement about my address, and I'm like, it's our road. I know the name of it.
It's no, it is a female, according to the conventional naming schemes, I would say, and in Texas.
How dare you assume gender?
Yeah. It's not the wife, is it? Because that sounds exactly like how the post office treats.
No. I know your address for sure, and it's not there. Different part of Texas. But if your name is Cara, and you ordered a book, and you're out there, and you live in Texas, and you haven't got it yet, check your email, because I've been sending you emails for a couple days now.
Or email us, right? If you don't get the emails.
So. Hey, I wanted to say something earlier and I forgot. I want to give props to the Canton, Michigan Police Department, Canton Township. 2 nights ago, there was a fiery crash, and when officers arrived on scene, all 3 vehicles involved were fully engulfed in flame. But the Canton Township Police disregarded their own safety and went to work. And 6 of them ended up going to the hospital with burns and smoke inhalation, rescuing a family of 3 from a vehicle that was on fire. And well done. That's heroism, right? Totally disregarding your own safety and diving into a fully engulfed vehicle to try and rescue other people. So prayers for the recovery of those officers, as well as the family members they pulled out of that vehicle.
Hey, Joe, remember that thing I told you about that's very politically incorrect, but scientific survey that was done?
Yes.
I just dropped the link and the don't mention it, because I don't want to get fucking yeeted.
You mean
turns out stereotypes are stereotypes for a reason.
What you mean, that thing that never happens just happened again?
Yes.
You guys, we're on the range, ceasefire.
Okay. Yeah.
Kaiser John gifted 10 subs to Fuser Conflict. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that. That is not cheap. And then I see already many of you have been the recipients of that.
Hey, I have a John Kaiser gift right here, an actual physical gift in my hand.
Look at that.
Here. So this is from John Kaiser. Thank you, sir. I've got them for the others, but they're all sitting right here.
All right, I guess
I was not aware of that thing that you posted in the side chat. That is hilarious.
It is fucking hilarious. It's like what this is what you call a cell phone. It
is a cell phone. Yes,
not a cell phone. I'm sorry. I realized how that sounded as soon as I said it. All right. If you are if you're in the chat in YouTube and you don't have a membership over on Rumble, now is a good time to go over there. I think it looks like there's about 3 or 4 left. So get over there, claim your gifted sub. All you got to do is just chat. If you're not a member, just chat in the chat, and it'll recognize you and give you a sub. So
in reference to the little inside joke there we were just talking about, this gives proof to George Carlin's comment that think about how dumb the average person is, then realize that half the people are even dumber than that.
Yes.
And,
yeah.
This just goes to that.
It is that the scientific endeavor.
Well, guys, we like science until we don't like science. I mean, that's just how science works.
A lot of folks who don't know the difference between the average and the median, and that study illustrates it perfectly.
Yeah. Yes. All right. Let's watch some of the funny stuff while we wait for Watcher to get his shit together again. We already talked about Afro Man, so we might as well start with that. So recently,
was Afro.
Joe, do you want to give the backstory on this? Now, if you wrote the full backstory, my recommendation is to go over on Asmongold's YouTube channel, because he did a full reaction to it, and it with multiple videos, all the backstory, all that kind of stuff. So you can get the 20-minute version over there, but we're going to give you the 5-minute version. So Joe, if you want to get the backstory going while I cue this up.
So essentially, the local sheriff's department felt that he had a lot more income than he could explain. And there was some other complaint made that led to them getting a warrant for drugs and kidnapping. And turns out none of that was true. There were no drugs found. There was no basis for a kidnapping charge. There was nothing. And they essentially no-knocked him in the middle of the night, busted it in, came in with rifles and ordered everyone out of the house and all of that. Afro Man actually handled it pretty well when it happened, and went through legal channels, didn't do anything crazy during it, other than the fact that he started making songs based upon the officer's actions from his security cameras that he had on there.
Mm-hmm.
And they were actually quite funny. And they're actually pretty good songs, too. And he points out that they claimed they were looking for a massive stockpile of drugs, but they went through his suit pockets and his CD cases, right? He's like, did you find any kidnapping victims in my suit pockets? Did you find any kidnapping victims in my CD cases? And all that kind of stuff. And so,
but they did find some money.
They found some money, which is not illegal to own, and they seized it. And he's like, why did you steal my money?
Well, but here's the crazy thing. They later returned it when all the kind of charges and everything like that were dropped. But $400 was missing. And he's got video of somebody basically what looks like pocketing money out of the stash. So.
Here's video of the cops doing absolutely egregious things inside of his home. So he started making videos about it, and the cops got very upset. And the cops' children were getting laughed at school because of the dumb actions their parents did. And so they sued Afro Man. And Afro Man legit did not back down. And he was like, no, I'm going to keep doing this. And turns out that the judge and jury agreed with him. And it's just, he is the hero we needed in this moment.
Yeah. So this is what. So basically, what he did was he made songs about all the sheriff deputies and all the all the people that were involved in going after him, to include the judge and all this kind of stuff. So this is one of the songs.
More importantly, he showed up in court wearing this exact suit.
Randy Walters is the son of a bitch.
This is the son of a bitch in question.
That's why I fucked his wife and got filthy rich.
Yeah, but look at this shit. They're taking down Al Qaeda. Look at this motherfucker right here in the back.
That's the guy who's looking at the cake, by the way.
Yeah, he's looking at the cake. So these are all his security cameras that he was using.
It's my dough. Stop stealing
Well, he's
my
literally
dough.
got
Stealing
on
my
camera
dough.
doing all this shit.
Disconnecting my videos. It's my dough. It's my dough.
So you get the amazing quality of this. It's shockingly fucking catchy, all of it. But so just to kind of like give you some of the facts of what was going on here, this is video from the actual trial.
So you're claiming that is the defamation statement, is that he said he had sex with your wife?
Yes.
And
They
that's
sued him
painted
for
you in a false
defamation,
light.
by the way.
It's caused tremendous pain in my life.
I'll get to that. We have to go through false light first. So does it paint you in a false light?
Yes, that my wife is cheating on me with Mr. Foreman.
But we all know that's not true, correct?
I don't know.
And hold on, the most ironic part of this is Afro Man called his wife as a witness.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even better. The judge was trying to the prosecutor or attorney, whoever it was trying to spoon feed the deputy, right? Well, of course, we all know that's not true, right? And he's like, I don't know. I think he might be.
For those that don't know, right? Like defamation has to be false.
Yeah.
The truth is an absolute defense to defamation, right?
Exactly right. That's 100% right. And so if there is any doubt that it might be truthful, then here we go.
By the way, the fact that the jury found for Afro Man tells you then that he was indeed sleeping with this man's wife.
Did he really?
Well,
Well,
the jury
evidently
believes it. That's for sure.
Well, evidently, she did have a like a black lover, but yeah.
Got him.
I'm not saying it was Afro Man, but I'm also not saying it was Afro Man.
Yeah, right.
Exactly. It's a
Not wanting to be
non-0%
sued by
chance.
Afro Man.
Here we go. Continuing.
You want to go there?
No, I just want to ask that question because you said we don't know. I just
Been
need
with
the
that
answer.
woman since middle school.
I know.
I would hope she wouldn't. But you know what? Once somebody puts it out there for their fun and entertainment, it's out there. And it's a problem.
So it's something we cannot verify the truth of? Is it a thing that can be verified, true or false?
Ask your client.
Oh my God!
What's funny is when the attorney asked Afro Man, he said, "But when you heard about all of these things that was causing these families, you still decided to make these videos, even though it was harming these families." And Afro Man gave the absolute best defense. He goes, "Did they care that they busted in my door and pointed guns at my children?" He's 100% right.
Yeah, so they were suing him for defamation, and he won. So here's the judge basically prepping the everybody for the what is
Verdict.
the result, the verdict.
It's been an emotional case. It's been a well-tried case. The lawyers did what they should do. The parties did what they should do. I just want to remind everybody that how the verdict comes out isn't something of public comment. So if you have an emotional attachment to the verdict,
He's like, "Uh-oh, I already know what's going to happen."
Before you let your emotions out. In all circumstances, the jury finds in favor of the defendant. No plaintiff verdict prevailed. It's been an emotional.
He basically whipped their ass, and so because of that, we were getting everything. Can you wear the pillow jacket? Oh my God.
Well, I mean, look, I would feel worse about this if he didn't like literally offer them every possible opportunity to make good on this, and they just continued to double down at every stage.
Well, the crazy thing is he literally did like multiple videos for each person. This is the one from I can't watch it on through here. Let's see. I'm looking for that fucking Dune trailer one again, Joe. I want to show that.
Yeah, the Dune trailer, that was pretty good.
Oh my God! Yeah, Afro Man Dune trailer. That's the last. Then we will move on. Let's see.
So while you're looking for that, cops have gotten pretty used to being able to just do whatever they want and the courts be okay with it.
Yes.
And so the reality is, when there's a guy who's just like, I'm just going to make music videos about how you're gay, there's really nothing they can do about it. And it
That's
pisses
exactly
them
right.
off.
Yeah, is there something wrong with being gay? I thought you supported all that.
The fact that they actually attempted to sue him for speaking out against an unlawful raid, a raid that was determined to have yielded no evidence of wrongdoing whatsoever, the fact that they sued him tells you the attitude of American police officers versus the citizenry, right?
Yeah.
You don't have a right to dispute anything we do. We're allowed to do what we want without consequence. Okay, maybe without legal consequence, but not without personal consequence. And the First Amendment exists for exactly this reason, to say the government is trampling my rights. That's why it's in the Constitution.
Now, I was not aware that a Dune 3 trailer came out, but evidently one did. And this is the Dune 3 trailer everybody wishes we got. Here we go. Oh boy, I'm just saying, like Afro Man has a lot of mileage still left in him. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, when you think back to his first video, the only video that actually got him any play, it had Jay and Silent Bob in it. So that's how long ago it was.
That's right, because I got high, right?
And they were still relevant at the time, semi.
Oh boy.
And ironically, most people don't realize it, but Because I Got High was actually making fun of that culture and like, this is how stupid we are, right?
Yup.
Yeah.
All right. I do have. I mean, we're going a little long, but hey, I haven't been here in a while, and I want to have some fun. So I have another something funny. This is this is totally appropriate, I think, for our audience. Joe,
makes a great point. Afro Man is the most effective civil rights leader of the last few decades. That is 100% right.
Well, with the passing of Jesse Jackson, clearly the mantle goes directly to Afro Man, I would assume.
Yeah.
Could we have just done that before Jesse Jackson passed? Can we roll that back to like the 90s or something?
Huh.
Scott is off the rails now. American Dreamer, just wait till you see the next video.
By the way, he also has a song about Hunter Biden, which is legit. By the way.
I mean, there is no way he is not there's no way he is not a huge Trump supporter. All right. Under the heading of if you think AI film can't be art, then explain this.
Oh, please tell me this is what I think it is.
It is absolutely.
Oh no, this isn't it.
Oh well, this is a movie that needs to be made ASAP. Here we go.
At least Scott's using AI for good.
This is AI for good. That's exactly right. This, Joe. Let's be honest. If you and I have basically the mental age of 12-year-olds, right? Yes. And if we were to make movies like with an unlimited budget, this is the kind of movie like guys like us A would want to see and B would probably want to make. So
I make a prediction here that W Daisy Girl is about to throw her little thing she does down in the chat.
I know, yeah. Get your copy and paste button, Daisy Girl, ready because this is going to be appropriate for it.
Just you haven't clicked play yet. It's already coming with mountains of quality. That's all I'm saying.
Amen, brother. Huge tracts of land.
Well, huge tracts of RAM.
AI
but
data right. These things.
All right, here we go. Without further ado.
3 years after a string of brutal unsolved murders of local co-eds with impossibly fat milkers, the women of Delta Delta D will be headed to the new space station as part of NASA's Project Bus.
I just love the idea of sending sorority girls into outer space. I think that makes. I don't know why. That's a idea whose time has come.
Look, man, this right here is the modernized killer clowns from outer space. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. That's all it is.
Absolutely.
We're going to be 250 miles up. The only person watching us get changed is going to be a 60-year-old man at Cape Sinigo.
Cape Sinigo. It hasn't quite figured out how to pronounce certain words.
You know, I heard in space your boobs actually get bigger.
Why exactly are they sending a shuttle full of sorority girls to space?
Who cares?
And the only thing bigger than the NASA budget after this is going to be the strain on those girls' sweaters. This is like the plot of a movie written by a boy.
This is the first time I felt safe since the titty killer.
You don't think it's him, do you? Who else would go all the way to space?
Now listen, sweetheart. The boys down here tell me you're flat as a board. If that's right, you're basically invisible to them. You might be our only hope.
Oh boy! I'm just saying.
Well done.
Gooner slop. All right.
You know, I have to say, when you said AI art, so I don't know if you know this, but there is a guy who does probably some of the best AI videos that we've seen so far. It was the one who made the Chud Super Bowl ad that everybody thought should have won. And he recently...
I don't know that I even saw that.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, it was huge. He recently remade one that was he put the Chud character into Take On Me and did it like almost seamlessly. It's really goddamn good. And so a bunch of people who had been very skeptical about AI art saw that and all at once were like, "Oh, that's actually really good."
All right, I'm looking for this now because I haven't seen this.
He's the founder of the Chudari Liberation Front that you're all going to learn about in a little bit.
Yeah, well, right. Yeah, I don't see it. All right, it's no big deal. We had enough. There's serious shit going on in the world, and that's what you came here for, not for this this slop. Yeah, AI. Yes, I heard about this too. I hear Val Kilmer is gone, but will be up in an upcoming movie with AI. I'm going
to tell you, Mrs. Tactical Wisdom watched Maverick before I did, the second Top Gun movie, and did not prepare me for the scene with Val Kilmer in it. And as a Doc Holliday fan, that scene was incredibly difficult to get through. You know?
Yeah. Scott returns, then boobs. I mean,
yeah, that's kind of how this place works. By the way, speaking of serious things that you need, at Shield Arms, they have dip pouches that are Velcro to put on your gear.
The sad thing is that if you asked my soldiers what that is, they'd say, "Oh, it's the Zen's pouch."
Well, this is right. Anyway, I've learned that it also holds a compass perfectly. Hold on. Get it in there. It does hold a compass. So when I get asked what that is, I say, "Oh, it's my compass holder." Yeah.
Nice.
Anyway,
nice. I like that. There's a little bit of a stretch, but I'm liking it, Joe. I'm here for it. That's
show them the Canadian spike. I will find it here, you Arctic boy, in a moment, and we will show everyone the spike from. I don't know why you would call it a Canadian spike, but okay. I will show him.
What's he referring to?
That's the titanium spike that Shield Arms gave me last year. I'll find it. So.
All right. Let's pull up the first story for today. Odds and ends. Here we go. I miss having Watcher here. I mean, you're here, but you're not able to do
I'm almost back.
All right. Well, let me know when you're actually back.
Toss me the
stop having to do the work.
There we go. All right, Watcher, you got me? Not yet. He's catching up. He's
Check.
Here,
Come on.
Yeah, we can hear you, Watcher.
Okay, go ahead and toss me the show notes in the private chat if you would.
This is the spike he's talking about. He says it's Canadian spike because it's legal in Canada. These are in stock at Shield Arms, and I'll grab a link and drop it in here in a minute. It is like a triangular bayonet, so very hard to stitch wound. Comes with a vertical pouch or horizontal pouch, so you can put it on your belt. As Brandon said on Twitter just the other day when I reposted this, he said it is the ultimate get off me tool, right? So very cool. The titanium spike from Shield Arms.
Is it hard because it just opens a big channel type wound? Is that like that? Is that the
3 lacerations? Yeah, a large wound channel with 3 cuts, not just 2.
Yeah.
So
it's a like a triangular shape.
Triangular. Yeah. If you you really can't tell looking at it, but I'll try to put it straight on.
Hold on a second.
It doesn't focus right, but it is a 3-bladed.
Oh yeah.
It's a triangular bayonet style. And then when he handed this to me at Mountain Red, at Shield Field Days, I was like, this looks like a triangular bayonet. Then me and Brandon looked at each other and we both started smiling. So I don't know if that's in the works or not, but I kind of thought it would make it great. All they had to do is make it a little bit bigger with just the right attachment on the end.
Yep, that'd be cool.
I love this thing. Comes in black as well. They didn't give me a black one, but it comes in black. They only gave me this one because it's a production model. It was one of the first ones. So,
can you get maple syrup with it?
Yes, you stab that in a tree. Yes.
All right. So first up, we got this is more past conflict reference, but I thought this was this just goes to show the closeness of our ally alliance with Japan, and B, the stupidity of reporters, all in one clip. So let's just go ahead and play it and let it speak for itself.
Shoot, that needs shared clip. Sorry.
Oh yeah, the audio
needs audio. Yeah, there we go.
Japan and US are very good friends. But one question: why didn't you tell US allies in Europe and Asia, like Japan, about the war before attacking Iran? So we are very confused.
Well, one thing, you don't want to signal too much. When we go in, we went in very hard, and we didn't tell anybody about it because we wanted surprise. Who knows better about surprise than Japan? Okay, why didn't you tell me about Pearl Harbor? Okay? He's asking me, do you believe in surprise? I think much more so than us. And we had to surprise him, and we did. And because
the look on her face is like, you fucking motherfucker.
We knocked out 50% of what and much more than we anticipated doing. So
no, she's like, I really don't want to laugh right now, but that was hilarious.
Right?
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people try and give some takes on this. I'm sorry, but that is like in the best American tradition of ball busting a friend, right?
Yeah, that's actually true. I mean, look, it's almost 100 years ago. We can move on from it, right?
Anyway, I thought that was funny. I don't know if it needs a whole lot more commentary than that, but very good. Trump has got that comedian's timing, Don, Pearl Harbor's still relevant, I don't know why we wouldn't continue to talk about that.
Well, welcome to the 21st century problem. Literally everything is World War II. So somehow we're all touchy about something we weren't even born when it happened.
I know, right? Oh boy. Evidently somebody was offended by it because if you went straight to the
Are you telling me that someone was offended in 2026? I don't think I believe
well evidently this is the scene on the Chicago train right after Trump said these things, these hurtful and hateful things.
I'm offended that you said somebody would be offended.
Whatever's right on me. I ain't lied about shit I said, bitch. I just got robbed by 9 white bitches. Every black bitch and nigga that kiss ass to white folks, I'm gonna kill them for real. I'm gonna kill your bitch ass for real right now. The problem on the red line, we finna solve this shit. Mississippi nigga and fish kill ass to white folks, I'm finna get rid of this shit for real. A white bitch still on the machine, we get plenty better. I'm finna kill that shit.
That guy has fatigue.
I was just gonna say.
He was like, seriously, bro.
Me for real.
I'm a kill white. I got 2 days. I got out 2 days. I'm fitting the kill for real.
2 days ago, I'm finna kill for real. Every slave mentality finna get sad to white folks. It's finna die.
I don't know who put that soundtrack over it, but they need to be fired.
Yeah.
Listen, put down the phone, choke this man out.
Yeah.
Yo.
The man in the video's ID'd is Eric F. Vinson. 30 prior assault arrests. No, I don't believe that.
No, thoroughly shocked.
Now, I'm no expert at this, but if you stood up and you did a web of hand strike to his throat while sweeping his leg, he would not be a problem anymore.
That's exactly right. Because despite the fact that he's all violent and things like that, his hands are down at his fucking waist.
Yeah,
Now,
he never would have seen it coming. You just stand up like you're getting ready to move and drop him.
and this is the kind of motherfucker, if you were to just kind of do the like look over his shoulder kind of thing, that would probably throw him off too. I mean,
yeah,
you know, like there's I mean, or if you just pulled your gun out and shot him in
or
the chest.
if you just shot him 6 times in the chest because he was waving hammers around in a violent and dangerous manner, you'd be okay. Even in Illinois. I'm sorry, but even in Illinois, you'd have been justified in shooting this guy. He swung that hammer and almost hit that old man sitting there looking at him wearing a mask.
Yep.
Cast iron skillet nails it. People are like, if I don't acknowledge what's happening, it isn't real. Listen, this is the problem in American society. Everyone would rather just sit there and ignore the man than actually deal with him. Deal with him. Your justice system isn't going to, clearly, so you have to.
Final thoughts on this guy, gentlemen?
Pre-1900s America had a solution for this. I'm just saying.
Yes.
Well, speaking of pre-1900s America, I think we're seeing that kind of behavior in Africa. Ethiopia, FNAO.
I was talking about, but okay.
Well, we haven't got to the slave markets yet, Joe.
By the way, this right here is exactly the best way to carry your AK-47.
Yeah, the tactical
magazine. Yeah.
The tactical shoulder rest. Let's see. Fano militants have started a major offensive in the South Gondar zone of the Amhara region of Ethiopia, targeting government forces. Some regional sources claim that up to 650 government soldiers have been killed and that 418 troops were captured on March 18th alone. The offensive was launched as a memorial to Major General Abate, a prominent Fano rebel leader who was killed in 2024. This is the kind of thing that just makes, like, we saw a lot of this kind of stuff in Yemen with the Saudi army, and like they just fucking roll up on these guys, and they don't fight, or they fight so ineffectively that they just give up.
Are we just going to ignore the fact that he's wearing urban brushstroke, and we're just not going to talk about it?
Well, I mean, Joe, this is one of those kind of many layers to this video, and we just can peel back the layers as we go. I like the old make them take their shoes off trick. That's a good one. These guys are basically being marched into a pit probably somewhere and then executed, which, because life.
Your boots, because we want to go through, because I'm wearing flip-flops and I want to get some combat boots. You see that?
Yeah. Well, and it's also to make it harder for these guys to get away.
No, I'm pretty sure they're about to steal their boots too.
Oh, 100% they are. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The tactical chancla is not a thing.
Yeah, because I'm wearing flip-flops or Nikes that are about to fall off my feet. Yeah. So anyway, just so you know, war going on in Ethiopia. No big deal. No big whoop.
Whatever,
Same
Karen.
shit,
Yes, that
different
shield
day.
spike would have come in handy. That shield spike right through the sternum will put an end to you swinging hammers. 100%. Yes, with those tactical shorts. Yeah, my man was wearing shorts in a combat zone. Terrible.
I saw a man drag a screaming woman into a car last night. Caught it on my ring real time. The cops didn't want the video.
Yeah, because then they'd have to do something, American Dreamer. And right now, American cops are not really that interested in engaging in the urban activities.
Yeah.
They're willing to let them slide because then they don't have to deal with the aftermath.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't get sued for not investigating. You do get sued the moment you investigate.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's see what's next here. Moving on to. Oh yes, I mean this is let's check in with Johannesburg to see how the scrap industry is doing. Oh, wait a second, Joe. I don't know that this is Johannesburg.
Does it look like Johannesburg?
I thought for sure this was South Africa. No, in fact, criminals in California destroying critical infrastructure, presumably to sell it for scrap. Of course, they're also not speaking English. Plan accordingly. I don't know. Let's listen to this motherfucker.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Let me move the audio.
Está cayendo minero. Aquí en Hendon no vengan con la raza a chingar, cabrón. Vense a otro lado.
The accent could be more stereotypical.
Meanwhile, that guy's over there taking hits from the ready whip as he's walking around doing this.
Ahí está tu puto, güey. Tumbando los cables, güey. Le puede caer a la gente, no mames. Y este güey todavía se pone bravo. Ese puto, ponte bravo, culero. Aquí no, no vengas aquí, güey. Ya te fuiste a barro, güey. Aquí no andes viniendo, güey.
What was that?
So if you back it up at the beginning, you see him take a hit of ready whip. So your favorite whip topping is also used by certain cultures to get high. Right?
Yeah, specifically the homeless because it's the only thing they can fucking afford.
Yeah, you'll see him take a hit as he's picking up the end of the thing here.
Gives you strength, I guess.
Right. Yeah. He just needs to. He's gonna walk past a dude with these and take maybe a little boost.
Looks like Seattle. No, this is California.
Take a little hit. Ah, there we go. Good stuff. And by the way, if you go to cut a cable like that with those bolt cutters, your life could get very exciting.
Yeah,
for a very brief period of time.
I don't know if you guys know. I don't know if you've ever handled this kind of heavy gauge like power cable. It's fucking heavy as shit too.
It is. That's why it's taking like 6 of them to carry it down the street.
Yeah, they're basically inchworming it down the street. Yes, our yardie boy. The whippet. Yes, not just a fancy dog for rich people.
Yeah, yeah. I imagine you probably see a lot of that in your zone of influence.
So yes, America continues to, basically align directly with South Africa. I'm just waiting for the, the kind of widespread cash in transit hits. I'm surprised that's not bigger in America than it, than it is.
It actually is. Metro Detroit, it's a huge problem. And Ammo's currency is right. It's not that they can only afford whippets. It's because it's not guarded. And it's so low dollar that if a homeless person shoplifts a can of whippet, nobody stops it.
Yeah. Can I just tell? I'm going to share something here. I'm not going to make a comment on this. I'm just kind of throwing this out into the ether to get the idea out there as a potential, alternative. I mean.
Yeah, that's what I meant earlier.
All right, sorry. All right, here. Let's move on to the next one. That's less depressing because it's an RT reporter getting hit. Now, I'm not a hater on Russia or RT, but ultimately, this guy is. The RT reporters are absolute, bald-faced propagandists.
Can I just say, as a reporter, what on earth do you have a snap link on your armor for? You saw all the cool guys doing it, so you got one too, right?
Water bottle.
Maybe he's got a. Maybe he's got a.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say maybe he's got a like a tie down for his camera or something like that. And
yeah, maybe.
Further rocket attacks were reported against Naharia and admitted.
Hold on.
It's funny every time. I'm sorry.
There it is. Hi.
Beautiful.
Remember, kids, the cameraman never dies. Cameraman never dies.
Until he does.
Fuck.
Excellent commentary.
I mean, heck,
rocks.
Where?
Somebody asked if the cameraman made it. Yeah, they both survived. They were both wounded, but they did both survive.
Yeah,
Listen.
I think that I'll be honest with you. I think the thing that hit them, if you notice, where that shell's going into the or bomb is going into, it's actually going into that previous crater. So the fact that the explosion happened, not flush with the street, but down in that's what saved them.
Also, though, being that close, actually, yeah, his hearing loss is not service related. That's funny. Also, being that
I've been
close,
reading my VA claim lately.
being that close sometimes protects you from the fragmentation because it goes up and then out.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, 100%. Right. That's exactly right.
That's
it's
how I
not
know.
perfect.
The
The thing,
doctors told me that's what kept me from having fragments all over my back. So,
well, the weird thing about an explosion like that is that you're probably safer closer, as long as you're outside of the blast. But all that shit on the fucking street, like the stones and things like that, that's what fucking hit him.
yeah, went up in the air and came back down.
Yeah. So, alrighty.
Again.
I mean, I hit it again. Speaking of hitting,
in a war zone, bridges are not a place to stand. It's never a good idea,
especially if it's not a completely destroyed bridge.
Yeah, someone's going to be like, "Oh, we have to continue the mission, right?"
All right, more of these. Sorry, just mute it. Because the visuals all you need. On March 20th, the earthquake faction struck the epicenter of Israeli weapons industry in Europe, in the Czech Republic. A new center of excellence was built in collaboration with LPP to service the global expansion of Israel's biggest weapons producer. Whilst the development, production, and training center was empty, the earthquake faction intervened to destroy its equipment and set the factory ablaze. No one was harmed. The site was used to develop weaponry used by the Zionist entity to massacre people daily in Palestine, Lebanon, Iran, and across West Asia. The earthquake faction is an internationalist underground network that targets key sites critical to the Zionist. So it's basically a neo-Marxist Palestinian-aligned group. See, Joe, and you saw them. They're not just setting the place on fire, but they're also taking
I
the
want to talk about that
documents.
bag. Freeze it on that bag. All right, so this bag is clearly of a different color, so that they would identify it. And if you notice, the bag appears to be lined. So I'm going to tell you that's probably a Faraday bag. And it was probably handed to them by an agent of a foreign government who funded this. And I'm betting that government either speaks Russian or Chinese, who gave him the bag and said, "Hey, while you're there, I need you to pick up all of the technical manuals." And the problem for these poor idealists who fell for this is that the fact that they took these technical manuals enables every nation to use espionage laws on them, which generally set aside all legal protections for you. So bad move videotaping yourself committing espionage. Sabotage was bad enough, but espionage puts you at a level where nation states can do incredible things to track you and find you and deal with you. But that bag is clearly a bright and different color, so they don't mistake it for anything else. They knew which bag to put everything in. So I would like to know where that bag ended up. I bet it ended up in an embassy within hours of this.
Yeah, let's see. So
Yeah.
these are radical communists. Yep.
So I'll tell you, they didn't decide to do an SSE on their own, right?
Yeah.
Because these kind of people think just about the destruction. But their handler, their advisor said, hey, while you're there, I need you to grab this, this, and this. And if you do, we'll pay you a sum of money.
Yeah.
All right.
No,
Anything else?
they didn't speak Farsi. This would not. No, Iran is all about the destruction. They wouldn't have gathered that technical data. Now they'll get it, but they'll get it from the Russians or the Chinese who paid for that.
Yeah.
Gundam Zig. Oh boy.
Oh Jesus. All right, gentlemen. Joe, you want to talk a little bit about tactical-wisdom.com?
Sure. We've added some classes to the schedule, and I put out a couple tweets about our April schedule. We've got a lot coming up. We've got some fieldcraft classes here, some communications classes, some tactical self-defense training, things like that. So get out here and get trained. It's almost like you're running out of time, and maybe you should be getting trained right now. So we have quite a bit coming up. Boy, I thought I deleted all of that. Oh, no, I didn't. Okay, cool. Good. I did delete the earlier stuff. So there's a lot of stuff on there. Come check out these classes. Come and take them. Some of them are really cheap classes. Get out here and spend some time with us. Learn a few things.
Yeah,
those are the one thing you absolutely need to have.
Joe, can I just give you a little supporting fire here? I saw some I don't know, like Mama's Boys, mouth breathers. You name the Momos. I don't know, not the other thing. I'm sorry, I was going back into history, channel history.
I
there.
got you.
Anyway, $100 for a day? That's fucking too expensive. What bullshit? Skills are important. $100 is not a lot of money. If you can't afford it, then it's cool. If you can't afford it, contact Joe, and I bet Joe can work a deal out with you.
Absolutely. Instead of putting stupid comments on the post, reach out, send me a DM. Hey man, I'd love to take this course, but I can't afford it. Okay, what can you afford?
What can you afford?
Wherever you get the training, never let money stand in the way of you getting training. Contact Matt's the same way. Just reach out to us, right? We'll see what we could do.
A lot of times Joe will say something like, well, can you trade? Because I'm always looking to find new guns.
Yeah,
I tell you,
Joe also accepts cuddling and whiskey.
It's also there are a lot of people who come here for an event and say, hey, look, I can't really afford this. Is there work I can do around the camp? There's always work you can do around the camp.
Yeah.
So absolutely.
So full day's work will probably pay for a lot of these classes.
Yeah. Yeah. And but anyway, check that stuff out. I wrote out an article about preps for your vehicle, and we'll get some more articles out over the weekend. Stay tuned for an announcement on a book project. Hey, seriously, I've got a whole kitchen. Somebody wants to cook for the weekend, they can get the class. Yeah. You have to be able to make biscuits and gravy, though, or I won't let you use my kitchen. No, I'm just kidding. And Hunch points out, chat, remember, Tactical Wisdom was a Marine. $20 is $20. I'm going to say was. It's not a key word. But anyway, check out tactical-wisdom.com. Learn some skills. Pick them up. And listen, if you I just lost my entire train of thought. Make sure you, I don't know what it was. I don't know what I was going to say. Make sure you sign up for Mountain Readiness. Use code Tactical Wisdom 5 and get 5% off your tickets. We have Joel Gaines coming out here July 18th and 19th for a pistol class, War Lizard Tactical, which is almost full. So you'll want to buy a ticket for that as soon as you can. And I have several people who are coming for that and then staying all week. We'll fill that week with classes. And spring training week here is pushed a little bit further back to June 12th to the 17th. I'm convinced it's because every time Matt comes here, it snows, and he just wants to be here when it doesn't snow. So June 12th to the 17th, and Kay is also looking to add some classes around there too. So stay tuned. Hey. Come on out, train with us.
Breaking news that I don't believe until I've seen a body, but
yeah, I don't know who said that or why.
Hold on a second.
Is he dead again?
But listen, you can't just kill Chuck Norris. You can't just die.
All right, this seems more legit. It's with heavy hearts that our family shares the sudden passing of beloved Chuck Norris yesterday morning. While we would like to keep the circumstances private, please know that he was surrounded by friends. Yep. Family was at peace. To the world, he is a martial artist, actor, a symbol of strength. To us, he was a devoted father, a loving husband, a grandfather, and incredible brother. He lived his life with faith, purpose, and unwavering commitment to the people he loved. Through his work, discipline, and kindness, he inspired millions around the world and left a lasting impact on so many lives. While our hearts are broken, we are deeply grateful for the life he lived and unforgettable moments we were blessed to share with him. The love and support he received from his fans around the world meant so much to him, and our family is truly thankful for it. To him, you were not just fans, you were friends. Man.
Let me then, since this is actually apparently true, Chuck Norris and I have one thing in common. We both trained under the same man, Dale Drouillard, the first American ever to get a black belt in Tung Soo Do. So to Chuck, wherever you are, Tung Soo, brother. So
yeah,
man,
that's kind of fucking depressing.
It is. Way to go.
Chuck Norris is like one of those guys that like you just, you never thought he was ever gonna fucking go.
I loved him in Expendables when he was telling Chuck Norris jokes throughout the entire movie.
Right. Oh, what a bummer.
Yeah, that is sad.
All right. Well, Joe, you did have a funny though, kind of related to the brush beater ad. You want to watcher? Can you hit that link, the Chudaris link, and then Joe, you can explain this, and then I'll do the brush beater ad.
So at the most recent SIGINT class, we used the fictional Chudarian, the Chud Liberation Force as the OPFOR. And so I pointed out that the proper term, proper demonym for people of the Chud Liberation Front is Chudari. So when we first brought out the Radtel 950 radio, a bunch of sad hams got very angry because it does things that it's not supposed to be able to do. And so when we mentioned this beautiful cartoon was posted on the Chud Liberation Front page, and we have the Chudtel 950 right here, but it's pretty good. This is the part that got him mad. Not only can you monitor 3 frequencies simultaneously, this radio will transmit up to 900 megahertz, and it is the Chudtel 950. Scroll down a bit here, and then you have the sad ham in his basement. That's highly illegal. That's outside the band plan in Part 97. My radio ninja group will hunt you down and take you out. If y'all remember the guy who said, we'll show up at your door ready for whatever, and we clowned him all the way off the internet. The cartoon goes on. Randall's mom tells him to put his pants on. And the Chud has a beautiful wife at home who made him dinner. So
that's exactly right.
Yeah, you know what? It is a good night to watch Delta Force in memorial. Or, nay. This is what you need to watch in memorial. You need to watch Lone Wolf McQuaid. that's what you need to watch. That is quite possibly his best film. He fights David Carradine. Does it get any better than that?
This is my favorite Chuck Norris joke in the chat so far. I bet Death had to ask Chuck to go. He couldn't take him otherwise.
Yeah, right. He had to ask him permission. Man.
Let's see. Yeah, he passed away years ago. Only just told the Grim Reaper he was ready today.
Yeah.
All right, let me do my brush beater bit here. All right, in the midst of rising threats, the Muslim terrorists surging globally in 2026, from escalated ISIS attacks in Syria and Africa to lone wolf inspirations hitting closer to home, Al-Qaeda affiliates expanding in fragile regions, and the ongoing fallout from conflicts fueling jihadist momentum. The home front requires vigilance like never before. Disruptions, isolated incidents, or opportunistic threats can leave communities cut off and vulnerable when normal communications fails. Brushbeater Store delivers the tools and training to stay aware, connected, and capable no matter what comes. So while the sad ham gatekeepers and idiotic radio purists clutch to their pearls over Part 97 violations and scream about ban plans like Randall yelling from his basement about hunting down anyone with a nice radio, lasagna's waiting up the stairs, pants are optional, buddy. Real people need gear that actually works when it counts. Enter the Radtel or the Chudtel from now on. RT950 Pro, a versatile high-performance handheld radio with built-in spectrum analyzer to scan and monitor frequencies like an early warning system for unusual activity or interference. It offers multi-band coverage, including CB at 27 megahertz. Text and retransmissions at FM, VHF, UHF, ham bands, aviation, and wide receive. GPS for coordination and up to 10 watts of transmission power to keep your family, group, or neighborhoods linked securely when cell networks go down or become unreliable amidst rising threats. Remember, people, if it's during an emergency, exigent circumstances, you don't have to worry about federal guidelines on radios in emergencies. Just saying. Let's see.
You should give FCC guidelines the same consideration you give game laws. Just saying.
Complemented with the proven training, the RTO course, hands-on field-focused instruction in creating signals, operating instructions, frequency management, practical radio procedures, and operating effectively under pressure in austere or unconventional scenarios. It's designed for real-world preparedness, turning off the shelf gear into a reliable group communications for community security when threats escalate without warning. For approval from the basement brigade, get the Radtel RT950 Pro and build your net at brushbeater.store/collection/handheld-radio-RHT. Enroll at the RTO course. Upcoming dates like in 7 to 9 August in North Carolina. And he's doing that in Montana as well in July, right?
Correct. In June. In June, we're having RTO and SIGINT. Yep.
Okay. You can find those at brushbeater.store/collection/training. Use code CFC10 for 5% off all radios, accessories, and courses. Orders up to over $100 shipped for free. Big thanks to Matt for powering the Council on Future Conflict as Muslim terrorism rises and home front readiness becomes essential. Head to brushbeater.store, enter code CFC10, and build the connections, capable security presence your community needs, while purists can argue about pants and lasagna. Now,
look at that. So a point about this radio is they designed it with future updates in mind and evading FCC regulations. Oops. So when you look at their software, it has a spot for frequency hopping spread spectrum, which is in the 900 megahertz range. And it was only enabled on like the 4th or 5th firmware update. That's because when they sent it to the FCC for approval, it didn't do it. And now it does it. So if for all you got nerds out there who want a frequency hopping radio, this will do it.
Very good. All right. All right, gentlemen, let's talk about the Iran war. With all that funny stuff, we actually got through everything in right at an hour, so not bad, not bad. I don't have a whole lot of stories. This is the only story really today. Everything else is mostly posts. But this is news that was this is one of those kind of oops. And it wasn't our oops, it was fucking Israel's oops. So good thing it's not Monday and the Mossad aren't a sponsored content today. At a Thursday evening press conference, Benjamin Netanyahu. Wait a second, I was reliably informed that Benjamin Netanyahu was dead.
I don't have any confirmation on that.
No. I mean, my point is that's like
yeah.
It's basically Iranian copy pasta.
Just like they've sunk the Lincoln,
Gerald Ford or the Lincoln or whatever. Yeah. Let's see. Benjamin Netanyahu attempted to calm energy markets, saying Israel would halt further strikes against energy infrastructure after this week's attack on Iran's South Pars gas field, which is it was so stupid that he did this, triggering Iranian retaliation against Qatar's Ras Laffan LNG complex. The attack on upstream oil and gas facilities by both sides sent shockwaves through the global energy market, potentially sparking disruptions for years. The irony is that Trump has actually been doing a pretty good job of keeping kind of market pressures under control, all things considered. Let's see. Israel acted alone, Netanyahu said on Thursday, after Israeli officials previously said that they had informed the U.S. about the attack. Netanyahu also said Israeli forces would assist U.S. and allied forces in reopening the paralyzed Straits of Hormuz, and the war would be over faster than people think. I told him don't do it, and that he won't do that. Trump said Thursday in the White House, referring to Netanyahu's pledge not to hit Iranian energy assets anymore. We get along great. It's coordinated, but on occasion he'll do something, and if I don't like it, then so we're not doing that. Shortly after the South Pars was hit, Iranian missiles and drones struck the world's biggest liquefied natural gas plant in Qatar. Now, this goes to show you that while the chain of command is degraded in Iran, it is not gone. It is still there. And if they're able to quickly do a reciprocal strike like that, that kind of gives you indication both on like their ability to know what's being hit on their side, and then to be able to choose an appropriate and corresponding target on the other side. So it's not over yet, but it's looking good. Let's see. UBS analyst said that comments from Netanyahu caused WTI to pull back 7% from Thursday's highs, along with Brent trading down 3% versus the close. Brent crude futures are still well off the $119 per barrel highs seen early Thursday, trading around $110 per barrel at 06:30 Eastern. WTI futures traded sub 100, currently around $96 per barrel. Any thoughts on the whole kind of energy kind of war going on in the background of this larger conflict, gentlemen?
No, I'm just that this is probably was in their calculations, so there's probably a plan to deal with this. I just think that the Fars attack was dumb, which shouldn't have affected Brent crude prices, though. By the way, because that was a natural gas production field.
Yeah, I think the ripples with the energy market, it's more like, you throw a big rock in the pond and eventually the ripples out to the whole thing. Don, I mean, what's you've been watching this just like the rest of us. What's your kind of take on the kind of targeting aspect that we've seen on this? Now, clearly we're not getting like live BDA and things like that, but there's been some of that. What's your kind of thought at this point? Did we lose Don?
Uh-oh.
He may have stepped away.
Maybe
he fell asleep. Joe, Watcher, if either of you guys could take that. I mean, just as far as the targets that they've been kind of hitting, you guys got a thought?
Wait. Sorry, I was paying attention to something else because I wasn't expecting to have to answer. But as far as the targets, they're hitting what?
I'm just what your kind of takes has been on this thus far. I mean, it all seems to be pretty much in line with kind of what I expected, if I'm honest.
Everything except for the most recent strike by okay, so there's some debate, right? You weren't here, so we talked about that strike on the gas field as the news was breaking, and we had the fortune of having Jim on at the time, and Jim said that don't take anything anybody says about attribution of this at face value. There are some people who have some very peculiar interests in the area. And let's just say that it may turn out that that Iran hit the right target, or it may turn out that they definitely just lashed out thinking that Oman helped out. But he did point out que bono, and who benefits from Iranian LNG going away?
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
I mean, there's clearly some like who benefits going on here.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's interesting. It's also interesting that the very how do you put this? Very strong statement that Trump issued about we did not authorize strikes on energy infrastructure, and that's not going to happen again. Although he did kind of, this isn't the first time, right? Whether it was Israel, whoever it was, we do have a tendency to have some over enthusiastic allies in this. I don't know.
Well, I'll be honest with you. This is one of those kind of things where, like, Israel tends to do things that are not necessarily always in our interests, but they're maybe in Israel's interests. You know what I mean? So, like, there's been a lot of talk here lately about, especially, the elephant in the room with the whole Iran thing. It has been the whole Joe Kent thing. And so it's, there are a lot of instances where America and Israel's interests don't line up, right? And when they don't line up, we shouldn't fucking do what Israel wants. But if it does line up, we should do what we think is best, as long as it's in our fucking best interest. So by the way, my take on Joe Kent, and because this is probably the most is that you can't say a bad thing about the guy's service. I don't necessarily agree with his take, but that doesn't make him a bad person. So I don't know what the big deal is.
Yeah, and here's the thing: everyone has spent so much time talking about it that they've lost sight of everything else going on. Almost like that was the plan.
Yeah.
So
to roll us back for a minute on the Israel's interests versus ours, I'm going to be singing this song until I am dead, and no one is going to listen, and I don't care. I'm going to do it anyway. We don't actually have friends at a country-to-country level. You have other countries that sometimes have aligned interests and sometimes don't. And when they do, yes, we can work together. And when they don't, the correct answer is, well, hey, good luck with that, unless you're screwing with me, in which case, don't do that. Right? And we want this kindergarten view of geopolitics. We're like, but Israel's our best friend, and we hug and then we go to nap time together, and okay, maybe that's true in any, or England or whomever you want to put there. And maybe that's true in some 10-minute, 20-minute, 6-hour, even 2-year kind of circumstance. But the reality is, at some point, they're going to want something that we don't want. Okay.
Yeah.
And we need to get away from this 6-year-old view of, but we're super great friends. We're just the bestest friends forever. We're not. Israel is going to want some things that we don't want. And in the case of, the various people trying to attribute them shooting the, rocketing the LNG station there, okay, that may or may not be the case, and that may or may not align with our interests. And to be fair, I don't see how it does, but fine. Understand that they are not, it is not Lance Corporal Israel that we are deploying within our own chain of command that will be subject to the UCMJ. That's not how it works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, I mean, yeah, Op sounds like Gamergate from the past. Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, here if information comes out in the future that paints him in a different light, it's kind of like it doesn't matter how great you were in the past. If you do something wrong, it's still wrong. But I have seen zero evidence that he did anything wrong. He just disagrees with this.
Yeah.
Now, how he got to disagreeing from the standpoint of from where he was in the past, I don't understand that. But I mean, I've changed my mind on things, and a lot of times it's not like an on and off switch. It's a very gradual change. So go ahead.
I was just going to say, as long as we're here, I think it might be important to say that, I obviously took a side immediately. And yes, I'll say right now, I did get kind of attacked by some people, and we have some people that I still like very much who have now blocked me over saying this. But like I agree with Scott. You can't say anything bad about his career. And honestly, like there's the failure mode is pretty obvious on how we got here. But on the opposite side of the fence, I still don't trust the FBI as far as I can throw it. So telling me there's an FBI investigation into Joe Kent doesn't exactly immediately make me believe that he was the leaker. In fact, kind of makes me think maybe both sides are being absolute fucking dumbasses, and everybody's going to come out of this looking like an asshole.
So yeah, I'm there with you, and a lot of people misunderstood what I said when I was like, "Hey, look, say what you want, and feel how you want." But calling him a leaker immediately with no evidence is not a good look.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Either prepare a case and release it without saying a word, or don't make a comment. Right? And it just made it sound like they wanted to discredit him immediately because he was about to say something they didn't like.
Well,
And
the greatest irony of this is if you track down the accusation of leaking, it is something that was leaked to some website that you've never heard of, that has one post that says, "We have been told by a couple of officials that Joe Kent leaked things." Right? With, by the way, no attribution whatsoever.
If it turns out to be true, then yes, burn him at the stake. But until then, he might be completely wrong on this issue and saying things that make no sense. But I'm not going to say I hate Joe Kent because Joe Kent did some legit things. And I honestly think the truth of the matter is, we couldn't say all this on Wednesday, so now that 48 hours was off, he's a victim of the Meghan Markle syndrome.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
He met him a new girl who is not at all like him, and she has changed his position on things, not for the better. So
I know
and there's quite a lot known about her. Oh, okay. So, who's the dude that she works for? Great Blumenthal. Yeah, she's one of Max Blumenthal's acolytes, who is the guy who runs the Gray Zone. It's pretty obvious where this is all coming from. This is European aristocracy that have been trying to use the woke right to drive a wedge through MAGA ever since MAGA started treading all over European plans. It's so uncreative and obvious that I'm not even like. There's nothing even to play around with. It is what it is.
So in the world of probably the most unpopular takes about Joe Kent, I'm not sure he changed his opinion at all.
That's true. I have seen some of this.
Not in any serious way, right? Like you could argue some minutia and detail, but Kent has argued more than once that what we should do is bomb very specific strategic targets in Iran and then be done. And we bombed a lot of specific strategic targets in Iran, and then he quit. According to him, because, well, we're not done. And the thing that I said we should do here is quit at this point. And I don't know that is incongruous with the stance he's had for years. Now, you can argue about the Israel take all you want. That is, I mean, he doesn't have a history one way or the other of talking about whether or not Israel was doing this. You can argue the Syria and his wife thing if you want. I am very familiar with the arguments for why that is totes true, bro. Personally, I find it tenuous, but and I'm being kind of generous there.
Yeah.
But look, I've heard it before, and no, it's not a shock that he's talking to the people that he's talking to. That said, specific to the Iran policy, I don't know that he's in a different spot than he was in all of the tweets that people are posting as evidence that he was down for this previously.
Well, the thing, I think the important thing to remember here is that there was a civil war going on inside of the kind of the conservative, media sphere before this ever happened. And I attribute this more to the operation that's basically, ever since Trump has gotten serious about taking down real power centers in the world, the level of the kind of animosity towards Trump, his agenda, and America in general has just gone through the fucking roof. And that's what probably mobilizes money on the scale that it would take to get people like, Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, these people to really question some of these policies of Donald Trump's that are absolutely in the U.S. interest. But, for whatever reason, you've got conservatives who in the past vocally supported Donald Trump, basically walking everything back that they've said for the last X number of years. So,
well, you've got that on both sides, though, right? The Never Trump crowd is strangely pro-Trump right now.
Yeah, guys, we've always been like pro-Trump policies, not pro-Trump, right? As long as Trump's doing the right thing, I'm all for him. And I like his humor and I like his style and things like that. But as soon as he does something I don't like, I'll fucking call him on it. And if he does something that I really don't like, I would absolutely oppose him. That being said, as long as he's in alignment with me, I'm in alignment with him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think our crew has been pretty fucking consistent with that. We've called balls and strikes on the guy. What I don't understand, I don't. If you are critical but not divisive per se, then I don't understand how you get to something like what you've got. The fucking Tucker Carlson's and the what's the Groiper guy? What's his name again?
Fuentes.
Anyway, Fuentes. Like Fuentes is like, you should vote for the Democrats. Yeah, because he wants them to fucking win.
Right. And again, hey, speaking of consistency, in fact, I have 2 notes on consistency. Fuentes has never, ever, not once in his entire thing since he's become public, ended an election season by telling people to vote for Republicans. He has consistently, in every single election season, told people to vote for Democrats. It is so obvious the dude is an op. It's vomit inducing. But let's talk about some consistency here, because I need to be consistent on the other side too. And again, this is probably where some people got mad at me. We're not 100% done on Joe Kent, because there's another side of this, which was, I was wondering forever, and I brought it up here on the show, and I was told basically like, hey, Joe Kent's a real deal. You need to just shut up and let him work. On why Antifa hadn't been taken care of since day one, and past day one, why Antifa wasn't taken care of after Charlie Kirk was assassinated. And it turns out that the answer was seemingly because the only guy responsible that could have actually done something about it on his own without any kind of congressional or any other approval was sitting on his hands, potentially getting his brain cooked by retarded Candace Owens. Very frustrating.
I feel like Candace Owens always has been an op, but here's the thing, like you've got like Massey's in there, you've got MTG is in that, you got Tucker Carlson, there is a significant, like, here's the funny thing. There are a lot of these kind of personalities who only have a very small overlap, like, for instance, Owen Schroyer is another one of these guys. He's the former Alex Jones InfoWars guy, and he went like hard right on 90 degrees off azimuth with a lot of the fairly common sense things, right?
So you're watching 2 things, right?
Yeah.
One is the anti-war guys are anti-war regardless of circumstance, right? Half of the names that you just mentioned
Yeah.
When the Maduro raid was published was, oh my God, it's World War III. We're going to have boots on the ground in Venezuela. And, it's going to be a regime change war, and we're going to be there for 20 years. They all moved on very, very quickly because that very obviously didn't happen. The other thing that you're watching is the group of people who are always attached to whatever the news cycle is, and that person, those people are grifters. In the world of whether or not Candace is an op, Candace is a grifter. Okay. And I cannot say this enough. I have been watching Candace Owens since
she's always been a grifter.
In some fashion or another. I've been aware of Candace Owens since the social autopsy days. She is wherever the zeitgeist of high click rate is. Okay. We are going to go through all of your social media back from the time that you were 2 years old, because woke nonsense and digging up people's old tweets is in vogue. Candace Owens is putting together a website for that. Oh, it looks like the woke thing is starting to turn. Guess what? We're going to go talk to Larry Elder, because he's a massive institution that isn't going away anytime soon. Oh, and I'm black, and whether you like it or not, that is a perfectly good reason to go talk to other black people, as far as I can tell, anywhere. And so there was this, oh, look, the black conservative thing is happening. So Candace was attached to walk away for about 9 seconds until she decided she didn't like Brandon Straka. And then the Daily Wire was in pretty mass ascension. Where was Candace at? Oh, she got hired by the Daily Wire.
Well, she was one of the first big names at the time to kind of get latched into the Turning Point, thing, and then she moved on from that. Yeah, go ahead.
We began this with saying that the Joe Kent thing was a distraction, and guess what?
And we are distracted.
And we are running off on a tangent, distracting us from real issues that we were here to talk about today.
This is very fair. So we're talking about the Iran war. Let me use a little bit of humor to get us back on. So Iran has basically put out a propaganda video about their special forces, and oh
my God, do we have another AI video?
No, it's not. This is an actual Iran video, which may or may not have AI in it, but I'll let you be the judge of that. Watcher, it's the second link there. Yep, you got it. No, Watcher, it's not in the story. It's the next link on the segment.
Sorry. Oops, I was muted too. Okay. Sure.
Yeah, there we go. Here we go, guys. Press TV, so it's official. Ooh, they got a light on their helmet.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحیم و اعدوا لهم ما استطعتم من قوة. چند روز پیش شنیده شد ترامپ در اظهار نظراتش پیشنهاد حمله زمینی داده. ما سالیان سال منتظر یه همچین روزی هست.
We needed that epic music, I know. Sorry.
I know. Let's see. We have made coffins from our own missile boxes that we will bury you in this very soil. So that becomes a lesson for everyone who intends to threaten or reach out to the country of Iran. You are the embodiment of the divine vessels of the Quran. Yes. You are the embodiment of the logic of the Quran's logic and Quran cannot be used in the same sentence.
Right.
I'm sorry. Yes. So, Joe, the Marines,
of dead guys.
The Marines now steaming towards the Middle East might have something to tell them.
Listen, the Marines have been waiting for this fight for a very long time. And it's not going to go well for them. I'll point out that all the camouflage patterns being worn in their own video are stolen from the U.S., right?
Yeah.
Multicam, Marpat Desert. But I don't think it's going to go the way they think it is. Marines have been wanting to get a little payback for their brothers and sisters who have been wounded and maimed by Iranian agents, and I'll just say that, for the last 20 years. And it's not going to go the way the Iranians think it's going to go.
Yeah, I would suggest since 1983.
Well, yeah, so Joe, my response, if I were one of these young Marines and I came across some cowering savages in the bottom of a hole trying to surrender, dressed in their kind of faux Marpat desert, I'd be like, gentlemen, it looks like we have people who are trying to impersonate us on the battlefield. That is punishable by death, as and thus summary executions for everybody. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that. That's even in jest, that would be an illegal order, and I would never get it.
Scott issues no quarter orders.
Well, I'm referring directly to the idea that if somebody is if the enemy is wearing your uniform with the intent
They are
to
subject to
deceive them,
summary execution.
they are subject to summary execution. That's the problem with everybody copying our uniforms.
So here's the other thing, though. That comment that you just made, Don, the media went nuts on that. A press conference does not have the weight of an actual order.
Right.
Just because he said no quarter in a press conference doesn't mean he gave any such order whatsoever. Silly.
All right. Speaking of distractions, that was one that got me rolling my eyes for quite some time. We were all kind of having you guys know where I work. We were all having quite a chuckle over that one.
And Juan Cholo, you're right. That's all I heard in that video. Durka Muhammad Jihad. That's all I heard.
So here's the that's the propaganda version. Here's the next one is the reality.
Oh, you gotta do them like that.
Yes.
These are.
I want to go home.
Yeah, I want my mommy. These are besieged police. These are the kind of the gendarme arm of the IRGC. They are hanging out in Tehran. The regime street enforcers reportedly hiding under a bridge in Tehran, waving a white flag. The guys who
I have a question though. How do we know that that's what this purports to be?
Well, I mean, it is what it purports to be. It doesn't mean it's reality, but we have seen the Bashids coming under some attacks here lately.
But literally everyone is driving by them as if they don't care, and those three guys right there are taking a cab. So I don't know that this really represents much. I'd like it to, but I don't see any. I see no arms.
I'm trying to counter their propaganda with my own propaganda here, Joe. Please don't
I understand. But
boy.
What
anyway,
would make me happier is these guys standing here and then somebody doing one of those drive-bys. Then
I know.
Yes.
Did we all see the video of the drive-by? I don't know. Can we show that on YouTube? I guess we can.
The one that I shared where I said this proves that the AK underfolder is a superior vehicle.
Yeah, Watcher, can you go to Joe's timeline, see if you can find that one, because it's literally like before and after this video, and then the drive-by is the after version.
All right. Well,
that's actually a video of France.
You are done. Please stop spamming us with your video links.
Oh yeah. I muted him earlier for 5 minutes, hoping that was a one and done, but he continued to do that.
Look, man, get your first. Don't steal ours.
Let's see.
No,
right.
I refuse.
Oh, there we go.
Did you find it?
Yep.
So this purports to be Iranian resistance fighters in Iran doing drive-bys with underfolder AKs, which, as Joe points out, is the perfect truck gun. I thought I showed this to one of my coworkers who lived in LA back in the 80s. I was like, does this give you flashbacks from your
Your time in LA? The one who was the person in the front seat is obviously hanging out of the vehicle like that girl in California who had the AK. See how he's hanging out of the vehicle?
All right.
I don't know if they hit anything, but the fact that they even tried is good. You have to ask yourself where they got those. No, that's not a Draco. That's an actual AK. The barrel is way too long for a Draco. I'm betting that those guns came out of the back of a pickup truck that pulled up by some guys with a Jewish accent. Like, hey, who wants a gun, huh?
All right, let's see what else we got here. Oh yeah, this prank in Iran. This is pretty funny. This is how you know. This is how you know somebody's seen a drone before or experienced the drone effect. This next video here.
There we go.
So what you have here is are some Iranian police guarding a place, and they start playing the sound of a drone flying over, and they just start running.
So this would be like my new pastime if I lived there, because that looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shlomo, Ezekiel, and Daniel handing them out like candy. Exactly right.
Yeah, I imagine there's a lot of AKs making their way into Iran right about now. Let's see what's next. All right, so on to actual, war results. Israel struck the Iranian naval bases in the Caspian Sea for the first time. Missiles, ships, patrol boats, command centers were destroyed. Iran's backdoor borders Russia. Whatever Moscow is shipping through the corridor just lost its delivery address. And one of the vessels purported to have been hit was a frigate that's based out of there, which would make sense that you'd go after their most valuable assets first.
Hold on. Juan Cholo just made an outstanding comment. We need to take that video and drop AK-47 Wale as the background music.
Nice. Excuse me. All right. All right. Next, U.S. Russia's down. So this is the one that I thought was interesting and kind of well timed against the Iranian propaganda. Yeah, probably delete the sound there. There we go. This is a little Hua video from the Marines. U.S. rushes thousands of Marines to the Middle East. USS Boxer Group deploys early to confront Iran threat. The U.S. military is speeding up the deployment of thousands of Marines and sailors to the Middle East amidst tensions with Iran. The USS Boxer Group and the 11th Marine Expeditionary Unit are leaving early, carrying about 4,000 personnel with aircraft, missiles, and assault vehicles. They join other groups, other ships, including the USS Tripoli. Yeah, so that 4,000 personnel number includes Marines and Navy in that group. That's not how many Marines they have, but I think the total number of Marines headed that direction is about 4,500 is what I heard.
Yeah, each MEU has about 1,800 combat Marines, so you're going to get around 3,600 that are actual fighters. You're going to get another 1,000 or so that are admin staff or logistics staff, and then everyone else on it is naval. So,
Don, any thoughts on the Marines?
We're still not invading all of Iran with
2 MEUs. It's not happening.
Yeah, well, so I feel like this is about the right amount of Marines you'd need for Karg Island. It's what I'm thinking.
I've heard that, and it's not a wholly ridiculous suggestion, right? You could probably take and secure it, but there's I don't know. I listen to, or rather, I get harassed, I guess, by a lot of people who are like, there are Marines anywhere near Iran, so we're invading. And I'm like, bro, it's like 6 dudes and a dog. Shut up.
I've seen people using there's a meme out there where this guy's ex starts like kind of looking at him across the room and distracting him from his current girlfriend or something like that. And it's a video, and I thought it was funny, but somebody was basically using that to be like, GWAT veterans being called back, by their ex, like Iran? Are you saying we could go to Iran? Why didn't you say so?
We're gonna actually do it this time.
I mean, somebody posted enlistment ages for various services, and I was like, I could go be a helicopter pilot still, apparently.
Evidently.
What I really liked about that video from the Marines was they actually showed underway replenishment, or UNREP, which is something that happens a lot that doesn't get enough credit, right? So.
Let's see. They're reporting now that the gay Khamenei was in a coma, is now dead. I'm sure that probably is true. It's just as likely as anything else that I've heard about him. Another IRGC general has been killed in an airstrike. I'm just kind of going through my list of all these funny things that are going on in Iran. Don, what's your kind of? We've had 2 solid weeks of Iran now. Where are you at with this whole thing, just from what you've seen?
The thing that bothers me the most is the ask for $200 billion. Other than that, I remain pretty apathetic. And insofar as if we're not going to get committed to, 20-year forever war, let's turn Iran into Iraq kind of games, then, okay. This has been coming for, let's be generous and say 50 years. And so it was going to happen at some point or another. And as long as what we don't do is actively go turn it into a quagmire, then I'd rather do it under the president who has a track record of going in, killing some people, getting what he wants, and leaving, as opposed to basically anybody else.
Yeah. Well, the irony is about that $200. That's the first time I've ever seen anybody be realistic about what any kind of real conflict would actually cost. So that's about the kind of the going in cost, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's realistic, but it also kind of shows that they're not saying that, I don't know if this is supposed to be like this is this is just the beginning of the war, or is this we think it's going to cost this much in order to actually this is post operations and
these are generally 30 to 45 day requests, right?
Yeah.
But here's the thing. You can authorize all the money in the world, but can the contractors make enough missiles and rockets to eat up that money?
Yeah. The 90s are not doing us favors, right? Yeah, with that. We let defense contractors decide they could make one missile a decade and all kinds of silliness like that.
I just read this morning that the SM-3, which is like the premier anti-ballistic missile that the Navy uses, that missile, they were only making 24 a year. I mean, you can on a bad day here, you can shoot 24 of those fucking missiles.
You shoot 24 in about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So how many did we expend in the Red Sea?
Yeah, I don't know.
Let's see. So, as far as I understand it, the average is two interceptors per incoming. So, if you look at the intercept data, it's at least double that, right?
Well, so that we have the two shop doctrine, basically, which means for every one inbound, you get two Patriots, two Talons, two SM-3s, whatever you're talking there. So we're looking at we're talking analysis of what's going on in Iran. I trust Victor David Hansen, so let's see what he has to say.
There's enough evidence to see how things are really going. Europeans would never agree to go anywhere near Iran unless they thought the tide was turning and they think that we're going to win. Otherwise, they would keep still. And the reason that the petronations of the Gulf survive is they have their finger in the wind and they're very attuned to the climate. And when you have Al Jazeera praising the United States bombing campaign and saying that it's been underestimated and it's brilliant and effective, you get the feeling that they think not only should the United States finish the job, but it can and will finish the job. And then when you start to see tactical aircraft like Warthogs and Apaches, that means that they're offering almost ground and sea support to hit targets. There's nothing, there's no defense at all when you have that type of aircraft flying at will in Iranian airspace. So you put it all together, and I think it's pretty clear that this rope-a-dope strategy that they have, that we're going to tire before they are, is dependent on just public opinion, the midterms in the United States. And if Trump sees it through, and I think he will, I think they're going to fall pretty soon. And
I mean, I don't think he's far off there, guys. I mean, what's your kind of what do you think about how he frames that?
Well, first of all, you can always assume that VDH is usually pretty spot on, right?
That's yeah.
So I agree.
Yeah, so the thing that he kind of keyed in on there that made me think that things are changing is yesterday I was talking to some coworkers about, last week, basically all of Europe and everybody gave Trump the middle finger about like the whole like helping out with the or actually it might have been the beginning of this week about helping out with keeping the Straits of Hormuz open. And yet yesterday they all came out and said, no. In fact, point of fact, we will now help out. Right. And so this is Japan, this is Germany, this is England, this is France, this is Italy, I think, have all basically said now that they will commit some amount of forces to help defend the Gulf allies and B, keep the Strait of Hormuz open. Right. Something changed between then and now. And I think part of that is the reality of like that Trump basically said, oh, if that's the case, then keeping the Straits of Hormuz is no longer even a priority of mine. We're just going to focus on Iran. And so they realized that, well, shit, they started doing the calculations on what that's going to do to their fuel costs. And then
there was no calculations. The European oil market exploded. They were trading at $50, $70 a barrel difference from us or something like that.
Right.
Shock of shocks when oil is double the price over there than it is over here. Like, well, what did you want, Trump? Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, we could do that. And then here's the other side of it is exactly what he was just saying. They started actually looking at things. Something tells me you might have some ideas on this.
Hey, I want to point out something. Somebody is talking about the F-35 that was shot down. It is accurate. There was an F-35 shot down. However, it was not struck by Iranian forces. It was struck by an Iraqi militia. The pilots, the air crew is safe. The plane did crash in Iraq. So.
Our blue on blue problems are seemingly much bigger than our Iranian problems at this point.
Well, it was an Iran-backed militia, but it was not Iranians who shot it down.
Well, it was probably in an area where it was kind of outside the danger zone, like, the Iranian danger zone. So it probably had a different mission profile than what you would have over. Is this our good friend, Old Hong Kong, that has joined us?
Hey guys, how are you? Hey Don.
Hey,
Jim.
Yeah, no, you guys were talking about the $200 billion number that popped up.
Yeah.
You got to understand now that these folks in DC, that's the project cost.
Yeah.
For what's going on, right? That's the Trump Tower project cost for the Iran thing. And what basically happened is that number pops up, and then all of a sudden, all the Europeans are like, okay, what are we going to do to play a role in that $200 billion bubble that Trump just identified? Because that means, hey, you got skin in the game when it all clears up, and you'll be able to get your natural gas and your oil back. And If you don't do that kind of thing with the Middle East and with the Europeans, they'll act like you never, said a word, right? They'll be short-armed guys. They'll never reach in their damn pocket. So what this does is it forces everybody to ante in and share the burden, share the risk, which has always been the mantra of the Europeans, right? We have to do risk sharing, burden sharing. So what Trump's done is called the bluff, and he's done it 3 times now, right? That you'd think they see it coming. I think the only people who really understand this are the Japanese. The Japanese she's spot on with how to do this. And they're all in because they know that this is a winning strategy. And we're not going to get into a quagmire in Iran. We're waiting for the Iranians to step up. If the Iranians don't step up, the place is going to get hacked up with sectarian violence, and you'll end up with tribal sublands.
Yeah.
But if Trump stands back and says, "Hey, sorry guys, we gave you the opportunity," nobody can point at him and go, "Oh, it's all your fault." They will, but they'll have absolutely no foundation for it.
No, in promotion of that, Trump has made a lot of overtures that direction in the past week and a half.
Yeah,
he's out there once every couple of days, like, hey, now's the time. Whenever you guys are ready, you could
exactly
stand up and do the thing.
Yeah, I can't. I'm trying to help you here, man. and in the meantime, we're making a shitload of money shipping energy to Europe and Asia now. And the contracts have been done, right? Alaska direct now to Tokyo, right? That's done. They're going to be taking oil and gas out of Alaska. And so this has just restructured the economy of energy in a matter of 8 months. And people are smacking him around because they're angry. He gored a lot of sacred oxen with this. And, that's cool. I mean, it's all the folks coming after Joe Kent to take it back down the rat hole. This is just more of the same, right? And they're going to keep sniping at him. But I'll tell you what, these are tectonic shifts in the way the world works and the economy works, and he's done a good job. So that's my take on the $200 billion number.
Do you mind answering a question for me about some of this?
No, I'll just make it up if I don't know the answer, but okay.
Good deal. So one of the things I keep seeing a lot of people say is that that what we need to be very worried about, very concerned, and they seem very breathless as they express this, is the fracturing of the global energy economy to where Europe will have to pay a significantly higher price per barrel than America, because America might shut off our export, and that would be catastrophic. And I'm over here going, the Europeans will be forced to live with the consequences of their own actions. That sounds like what we should do immediately.
Well, yeah, there was a glare. It shone a very bright light on the inefficiencies of their decision making over the last 2 decades, right? So yeah, glaring. But when people start talking about these distortions in oil, it's like, oh, people are paying $200 a barrel in Oman for oil. There are people who have to keep their facilities operating somewhere, and they've been told price is not an object, go buy it. That's a market distortion. The fact that West Texas crude is floating around 92, or what is it today? Probably 87 today. It does. It's a proximity issue. It's a real-time market, and all of the harping and oh my God, he's broken the world. Those are people with long contracts that want it to go to 150 to 200 because they made the bets, right?
Right.
So it's one of the problems with this democratization of information is you got guys out there with $1 million at risk in their own money on a forward contract on something, and they're going to be out on the internet all day trying to keep it in the money, right? But Trump's going to take them apart. The guys who were betting on $200 oil, they're the ones who are calling the fighter pilots saying, "Can you please drop another bomb in Pars?" Right?
Right.
And it's almost like poly markets. It's almost like sports betting. There's this stuff that goes on in the background now, and it has outcome, right? And it's one of the reasons the Europeans are so worked up about the internet is, one guy with enough followers and enough money behind him can go out there and take some totally false canard and make it real, right? Make it real for 24 hours, right?
Yeah.
You don't get refuted real time. You get refuted over time. And in that 24 hours, you can drive markets. And that's what's really got them all wigged out. It's not Trump. It's all of the other stuff that goes on around it, the confusion of the OSINT world. And it is confusing, right? But you gotta have some fundamental trust that the national entities involved in this have some sense of strategy. And I think the GCC and the Arabs are piling on board here because they're like, hey, this is good.
Yeah.
And they do have capability to help us on that $200 billion number. The Japanese threw in 50 to 70 billion yesterday on just energy out of Alaska. So this is a business. And when you put the cost of doing business up and say who's in, who's out, there's meaning to that with Trump. Whereas in the past, it was like, oh my God, we can't go tell Congress how much this is going to cost. These guys are being honest. First time we've ever seen it. So I think you mentioned that, Don. It's honesty.
Hey, Don. Not Don. I'm sorry, Jim. One of the things I wanted to get your take on was, the quick turnaround between the Europeans about how quickly they basically said, "Go fuck yourself, Trump. We're not helping you with the Strait of Hormuz." And then yesterday it came out that, "Oh yeah, we'd be more than happy to help."
I think they went back. They went back to the professional advisors. They went back to their defense and security advisors, and said, "Ha ha, we showed him." And then everybody went, "Boss, yeah, you might want to rethink that." And these are the reasons you might want to rethink that. And so I put a meme up. There's this image of this woman bent over, vomiting up the EU flag, right?
Yeah.
I think a lot of that's going on in EU capitals now, where the professional class of the national governments are going, hey, wait a minute, we're really in a bad place physically based on what we did to conform to the EU over the last decade. We really need to take a step back and move in our own way. And the first people to do this were Orban and the Hungarians, and then you see the Poles did it, and a few other people stepped up. The French are beginning to make sense, which is just staggering to me. But I embrace it. I'm glad they're making sense, right? They should get rid of their sports watches when they run on the deck. But I mean, there are certain things that have improved in Europe, and I'm, here I go. I'm going to end with I'm hopeful again.
Yeah, always hopeful.
Always hopeful, man. Always hopeful. So,
somebody's got to be hopeful.
I'm just really tickled. I'm just really tickled as I watch the video of the A-10s banking over southern Iran. They look like that cross over Joe's left shoulder. So it's like the cruciform airplane is out there dealing with the justice against the Basij. I just love that parallel. So that's all I have to say about tactics.
I read a fictional accounting of what the war in Central Asia would be like, and it was specifically a commentary on the A-10, and it was the Russians calling it the Devil's Cross because it basically, when you look at it from above, it's basically a perfect kind of X cross.
It is at that, and they had the experience during the war with the Sturmovik, which was kind of their flying tank. There is purpose to an aircraft like that, and it's good to see. It's good to see the Air Force guys getting bitch slapped and having to keep redeploying that airplane because it's a lot sexier than flying a drone. So I think all of a sudden the pilot class are like, oh, we like it again. Let's replace it. It's better than sitting in a Connex in Nellis flying a drone. But it's the hands-on battlefield stuff that we're beginning to see where the lines fit. And I would much rather see a 2.75 rocket take down something than watch an SM-3 go off. I mean, over the last couple of years, as we watched the Houthi wars, I mean, I remember I'd sit there and count. It's like, okay, 12 million, 12 million, 12 million. And the SM-3s, as you said, they're making a dozen a year, 2 dozen a year. They're an expensive, very complicated, older design, right?
Yeah.
But those are exoatmospheric, right? They go up and they catch it at apogee. That's expensive stuff, man. So those were abused, and they were abused because of doctrine. Doctrine was go shoot 2 of them at every target, as you said. And there was never a plan to replace them. They were phasing them out for cheaper stuff. But now all of a sudden, we know it's real, and we're going to have to replace them with expensive stuff too. And so the part about the 200 billion that I think is good is a lot of that is going to be fulfilling the new simple products, in addition to the complex products. So, what do they call them? There are terms for this, Scott. The mid-level stuff and then the upper-level stuff.
Right.
And they talk a lot about that because it's so high budget. But the stuff underneath that, the stuff that Lucky's doing at Anduril, the basic consumables, the one-way drones, I think a lot of this money is going to flow into that, and that'll save us a shitload of money in the long run.
Hey, listen, if you think we went through 155 at a high rate in Ukraine, wait till you see how much 155 you need to do something in Iran on the ground.
That's exactly right. Speaking of cheaper ways to go after drones, this next video actually is a perfect example.
Hold on, I said 155, and Don opened his microphone. So
go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, I will get back to you on a calculation for a sweeping zone of the whole country. That's all I'm saying.
Billy Blogs, I just want to let you know that I did not miss your comment, and this video is for you.
Oh yeah, this is good.
Sound audio watcher. It's no good without the. It's like reverse warthog.
Yeah.
Yeah, the CRAM going to work. So
yeah, they're finding the CRAM works pretty damn good against the Shaheeds, right? I wouldn't be surprised
it's perfect.
if you didn't. It wouldn't be surprised if you didn't start seeing that getting mass produced again. A GWAT favorite there coming back into widespread usage. That was in Iraq, by the way. We still have a CRAM in the green zone at the U.S. Embassy.
Well, the great thing about CRAM for base defense is that not only is it fantastic in the air, but you can point it downward.
I was getting ready to say those people who are considering a ground assault into the embassy might want to rethink that one.
They would rethink that.
And on the cheap consumable world, they're spending a lot of money developing proximity detonators for pretty much every small caliber. The 25, the 30, the 35, the 40. I think there's a 50 program in Europe. So every time you see one of those chain guns or high speed cannons, they're going to have really nice proximity rounds, and that's going to be a really efficient way to deal with these little targets. And you look at the Chinese maritime militia. I mean, there's no better purpose for a 25 millimeter chain gun than the Chinese militia. Right?
You're exactly. It's almost like
we should be shipping those to everybody in Asia right now and saying this is how you deal with the militia in the event of a crisis.
I think the A-10 is how we handle that.
Yeah, we don't have enough of them.
I have proposed the A-10N naval variant.
You know what? Actually, I am gonna Palmer Lucky. If you are within the sound of my voice, you need to throw the GAU onto a drone and then put it into loyal wingman mode so that you can just have a drone strafer. That's you need the Warthog cannon on a drone. It's that simple.
By the way, have you guys seen that Apaches, AH-64 Apaches have been getting aerial kills over the Persian Gulf here lately too?
Yeah, they're putting the little guided rockets on them, and the 30 millimeter. Yeah, and again, this is where you get the proximity rounds.
That's all right. The Marines like our AH-1 Zebras or Zulus are about to get into the zone too. So
yeah.
They're going to catch up quick. And also, I was going to mention this earlier. One of the best things about 2 MEUs getting out there is that gives you 16 Harrier AV-8 aircraft, which for being an old plane, put those up there. They're going to get some numbers because they're actually a legit airframe, even though they are aging. So.
This is somewhat breaking news on the Iran front. Iranian ballistic missile just landed meters away from the Western Wall in the Al-Aqsa Mosque in Jerusalem.
Listen, if there was a way to widen this war, that's it. Smash the Western Wall.
I mean, the Sunnis already fucking hate you guys. You don't need to put a fucking ballistic missile in the middle of Al-Aqsa Mosque, and you'll definitely.
The dome of the Dome of the Rock, really a bad idea, because then what happens is Israel responds by hitting Mecca or Medina, and you don't want either of those things to happen. Not Mecca or Medina. What's their holy site in Iran? Yeah, that's it. Qom.
Well, it's already been hit. It's already been hit because they had their bunkers underneath it. So the bunkers have all been taken out supposedly. But I don't think that they hit the mosque. They hit very close to it, but I don't think they've hit the mosque.
And just because Gene brought it up, a CRAM would be really effective in Djibouti.
Yeah, I was just going to let that one lay there, Just...
Nah, not me.
Must be Friday.
All right. Let's see what we got next here. Oh yeah, so Tajikistan's trying to get into the So evidently there is they build Iranian drones in Tajikistan, and now a massive convoy of trucks has left Tajikistan for Iran. Official description: humanitarian aid. Actual allegation: drones. Iran has a manufacturing facility in Tajikistan for 4 years. We all know what they're carrying. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's one way to take care of that, Joe. Yeah. Go ahead and cross the border.
Those trucks are all flying the Iranian flag. Therefore, I guess it's Tajik flag. It's missing the thing on the middle.
Yeah.
If that's why they got that flag on there. Don't hit me. But they're probably going to get struck somewhere. Probably the minute they cross the border.
What this shows, though, is that the spread of Chinese technology and North Korean technology into the region. They produce all this stuff in the various countries. Everybody's a subcontractor. Everybody's a pass-through. And this is how Russia and China supported Iran. This is how Russia got its raw materials. So it's all the same stuff. And this is just a complete disclosure of the fact that they've been gaming the system since they hit Ukraine. And we've been letting them do it because nobody had the chutzpah to go do something about it. So, here we are.
Rice, bananas, very good, American Dreamer, very good.
All right, let's see what's next here. And if just in case you're on the Iran side of this, I mean, I don't want to leave you out here. There is an Iranian IRGC agent starter kit that was found. This is in Kuwait. An Islamic Republic terror cell busted with drugs, alcohol, and high-grade weapons.
Like that bow.
Yeah, like the bow and the pistol,
sword.
and the gold-plated
wooden sword in specific.
Yeah. Let's see. 14 Kuwaiti
corroded AK ammo.
Yeah. Two lesbian nationals were caught in Kuwait with a full Hezbollah starter pack. It includes weapon, drones, encrypted comms, cash, drugs, alcohol, and assassination tools. And I'm not quite sure what that is, separate from weapons. It had a lot of pictures of Iranian dudes. Kuwait authorities say the 16-member cell was part of a network plotting to destabilize the country, recruit operatives, and spread chaos. Yeah, these guys exist in almost every fucking Middle East country in the world.
What on earth was that rifle?
Right? Like a
World War II called, and they want their ghetto rifle back. Boy, that looks like an original AK.
I was gonna say that looks like a Chinese, like one with the underfolder spike bayonets.
Yeah.
Of all the things there, what the hell is the CD? Like the rest of this sort of makes sense, but CD? Are you serious?
Propaganda, probably. hunting rifles. That's their sniper rifles, Joe.
These guys weren't about to do anything.
This is like the LARPer kit that they had to send off. Send us $1 million and we will send you your IRGC.
Although they do look a lot like the average American militia group.
Oof.
And they're equipped similarly.
I'm just saying there will be a point in the future where clean shaven would be required in order to distinguish yourself from the ne'er-do-wells. All right. So this next topic is Muslims, because we've been on a kick on this, and the sad thing is, guys, there is literally enough material every day on X for an entire separate podcast talking about the Muslim invasion of the West. And so I just thought we would kind of cover some of the high points here recently. We had an event in Australia we'll be covering. We had some other stuff. So we just had Eid, which showed how cucked New York City is for the Muslims. Now that the Muslim Brotherhood party candidate is mayor. So let's watch this video. This is a oldie but a goodie. This is Charlie Kirk and Gad Saad talking about the Muslim Brotherhood's plan to conquer the West.
So many Muslims are moving to Western countries. Is it just economics, or is there something more ideological at play here?
It's both. Of course, many Muslims have no interest in conquering anyone, and they want, as you just said, exactly what you said, which is, I want better economic opportunities for me and my children and so on. But the Muslim Brotherhood and many other Islamic theorists and scholars and politicians have said that we will conquer the West through three means, and I hope that your listeners and viewers take note. Number one, we will conquer the West through the womb of our women, right? So that's a demographic fertility battle. We will produce 5 children, you will produce 1.2 children, and we will outbreed you. Number two, we will conquer the West through hijrah. Hijrah is the Arabic word for immigration, and that's exactly what we do with our open border policies. And number three, we will conquer the West by using your miserable freedoms and liberties against you. They're screaming this out from the top of the mountain, and yet most Westerners choose to ignore it, Charlie. It is so galling. It is so frustrating. I escaped that world 45 plus years ago, and here it is now hunting me down 50 years later.
I mean, that's well said. They're not here just to be buddies.
So Gad is too charitable by far.
Yeah.
And if you don't believe that, look to South America, where all of those economic opportunity migrants showed up. They totally integrated into society. And then 10, 20, maybe even 50 years, depending on when you want to start the clock. Later on, the jihadists showed up. And what did they find when they got there? They had this ready-made support network of all those people who just wanted better economic opportunities. But as soon as jihad's on, like, well, yeah, we could support that. And you don't have to like that, but that is the actual product when those economic opportunities Muslims move to different countries. Is that, even if you want to take all of them at face value who show up and go, oh, well, it turns out that, the Middle East is a terrible shithole, and I just want to, have some McDonald's and work my job. Life's good. Even if all those people are honest and you can take them at face value, 10, 20, 50 years later, when the guy shows up and says, Allahu Akbar, we're going to behead everyone in the West, they go, you know what? That doesn't sound like a bad idea.
Yeah, well, the sad thing is that let's assume that only 20% of Muslims are like bad guys, right? And the rest just want to they just want to live their life. They don't even feel like they want to go to the mosque or whatever. They, because they just grew up in that kind of a world. Okay, let's just assume that, for charity's sake. I don't know that that's true, but let's just assume it, right?
Sure.
When the religion or at least significant parts of the religion literally say it's okay to lie to your enemies. Because so first of all, you can't believe anybody who claims to be a Muslim says at that point, because you don't know who's lying and not. And then they will literally use their fellow Muslims as camouflage, social camouflage, in order to blend into your society. It's like you can't. It's like you don't know who's who, so you just have to. When everybody could be an enemy, everybody becomes an enemy. And if you really don't want to live that lifestyle, then there's one simple way: get away from it.
So
in game theory, there are certain strategies which necessitate specific responses, and there's no two ways around it.
So I feel like that means you don't know what I'm talking about when I say South American thing. There was a lot of Islamic immigration down to South America. And it was fine for, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. Again, depending on when you want to start the clock with each individual country. And a couple dozen times over, people went down there and did anonymous survey things effectively. And amongst the questions every single time was, how do you think violent jihad is acceptable, and or do you think violent jihad is good? And way over 90% of the time, the responses were, yeah, that's fine.
Yep, that's exactly right. Now, you could argue, oh, well, some are just saying they have to because they feel like they have to say that. Well, okay, then they're basically going along with the worst part of their religion,
Well, so the issue with that, right, is if you've got 50 people in a room, then you've got the question of like, hey, is this social pressure, right? But when they walk him into a room one at a time and go, hey, we're not going to record your name, we just want honest answers from you, there's no way to track this back to you, do you think violent jihad is acceptable? And they go, oh, hell yeah. Then there's no social pressure. There's no longer incentive for taqiyya, which is the lie to your opponents of Islam, right? I mean, it's anytime you can get a serious answer out of them, it's like, yeah, actually, we are pretty okay with killing all of you.
Yeah. I mean, it's just the way it is. I mean, that it just becomes a point of kind of, well, that's just the way it is. Water's wet. And people who aren't Islamic are kafirs,
they deserve to die. Yeah.
Or convert, die, or pay your jizya. And even then, jizya is only just kind of a like, we're going to take some money from you before we eventually kill you.
Right. Well, we're going to bleed you until you're not paying us anymore, and then we're going to kill you.
Right. Well, or we're going to basically, subvert your children, and you will eventually just die. That's literally the Ottoman way.
Yeah.
In order to do anything, you have to become a Muslim, and then you've got all the crypto Muslims or whatever who basically. Anyway, this is exactly right. The goal of moderate Islam is radical Islam.
Okay, first of all, that's me that said that, but Scott agrees.
But I agree with that. That's correct. Joe has said it enough around me to where now I say it. So that's true.
We both say it. You know what? It's a fact. There is no such thing as moderate Islam.
Oh, Watcher, by the way, I just want to share this. It's not Muslims, but it's a step in the right direction. I just shared it in the private chat here. Pull that one up. You gotta play the audio.
No!
Trump revokes 200,000 Indian CDLs with the Prime Minister of India on the phone.
No!
That's such a good job.
You will go to jail now. What are you doing?
I'm sorry.
What are you doing? No!
Anyway, let's move on to discussing the Muslims. So this is Australia. This is what happens when you attempt to appease the Muslim populace through your wrong-headed leftist ideas. Only a handful of months after Muslims in Australia massacred 15 Jews on Bondi Beach, including a 10-year-old girl, the Australia Prime Minister went to Lakembe Mosque to bend the knee, literally, further to them, and quickly learned that feeding the crocodile is a coward's game.
Notice something here. The relative positioning of the imam to Albanese makes Albanese shorter and in a more submissive posture.
Yeah.
All right, go to the next video. We have 3 of these links, so
security team getting a little nervous.
No. This, you've gone too far. That's yeah. Go back to the first one, Watcher. I thought you were on the first one. That's the third one. Yeah, this is so only a handful of months. Yeah, that's this one.
He's responsible for the spend deaths of 1 billion people. 1 billion of our brothers and sisters. 1 billion.
They're basically don't say the quiet part out loud.
Don't say it out loud, yeah.
I think there was one more, the third link in that section.
I'd be
so. This is. I'd already played it. This
well, if you played it, we hadn't started talking about it, so nobody knew what we were. If you played it, nobody knew.
It's on screen now.
No, not this one. I'm talking about the third link. The one that says holy shit, Islamist extremists.
There you go.
No.
That's the third.
No, that's the 5th link. Segment 2, yeah. I don't know how you got off on the links here, but it's no big deal. Just go to the one that says "Holy shit, Islamist." I'm highlighting on the page right now. Islamist extremists tried to lynch the prime minister. So this is afterwards. So when he's leaving the mosque. Even when you try to bend the knee, they won't accept it.
We never get quiet. Why is protecting him? Get rid, dog. Stay here, man. Stay here.
Why on earth would his team let him into that crowd?
I mean, just the close quarters nature of it. It's basically a struggle session.
And Australia apologise. It's his government. So we won't spend its time. Don't bring him here. It's not the time. It's not the time. It's his government. It's his government that pulled them when they were paying. We don't want politicians, brother. That's Haid. We're praying. Why do we got politicians? Leave politics outside.
Look, this is why we create what's called crash plans, right? A crash plan is we pick up the client, we turn and go 180 degrees from the direction we are going, and we drop everyone who is in the way. And that doesn't mean shoot them. It means push them, shove them, throw them.
Yeah.
And we take them a different ways. You don't continue to try to push through that. That is an absolutely terrible idea. That's how you get your client gets stuck with a knife when you can't do anything about it. Oh, man. But it's because Albanese wanted to be seen as this character. You don't let him do that. Like, hey, man, I cannot allow you to do that because they'll kill you.
All right. Yeah. Now that we'll do the Muslim migrant. Yeah. The one you started. Yeah. That one. So Muslim migrants burst into a church in Greece and attempt to disrupt the liturgy. So like, yeah, because they could do whatever the fuck they want. This is in Greece. Swiftly is removed. Even grannies were about to jump him. So he starts yelling in Arabic.
That's how you know it's not in America, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's an Orthodox church, so they're like, "No, man, we don't do that here."
Yeah. But this just kind of goes to show you, though. Here's the thing, though. This problem is not just in Europe. Go to the next one.
It's worldwide.
So this is in Minneapolis. This guy's like, I'm going to go into a church and I'm going to start basically proselytizing.
No, it was not. That was actually a Persian Christian hymn.
Oh, is he this Persian? I thought it says I was reliably informed that he is that this is an Islamic prayer. So this is not what it purports to be then.
Now, a lot of people shared this thing, but the guy was attempting to create the reaction, right? Of look, a guy with brown skin comes in and they automatically assume this, and a lot of people did. He was actually hoping that they forcibly removed him.
Yeah. So anyway, this is going on. We've already got examples of this occurring in America, so it's not like
it's not like it doesn't. It just proves the point. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Here we go. This is where. So this is a clip from a movie, but it kind of shows the reality of what the Yazidis faced under ISIS. 500 Yazidis faced genocide for refusing to convert to Islam. 7,000 Yazidi women were sold in chains under Sharia law by ISIS. 10,000 Yazidis were killed. 2,600 are still missing. 250,000 remain displaced in camps.
I don't
Zero
know
protests by leftists.
This does not appear to be a real video.
This is a movie. This is a clip from a movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I thought I stated that up front. If I didn't. So yeah, this is just but this is illustrative of what was happening under ISIS.
Yeah, the Yazidi women got a pretty bad shake in that. Yeah, and if we were the people we used to be, we would have done something about that.
Right. It actually underneath, if you go underneath, watch her in the comments. There's actually so I remember this case here. This Yazidi girl who was rescued from Turkey. Because she was kidnapped and taken there by ISIS. She was 16 at the time. So it was unbelievable, like the stuff that these women went through. UK Islam. Islam is not a religion. It's a political system. Of course it is.
Well, welcome to the issue, right? Is that now everything is everything, right? And Islam suffers from this, right? It's a religion insofar as if it's the only thing there, then there are religious practices, and otherwise it's a conquering theology. And in a whole lot of sense, whether or not Islam is a reaction to the West, the things get designed this way because the West has trouble dealing with them.
Hazmat for 700 for $20. Thank you very much. That ain't cheap. Buy your tickets for Joe Dolio Fest or Mountain Readiness West. Don't make me use my weekly pasta post for evil. Thank you, brother. We appreciate the support, and we're all looking forward to Joe Dolio Fest in July.
Hey, it's just going to be a good time. You get to hang out with me. I get to hang out with you. It's just a good thing.
You never know who may be there, Joe.
Right. You never know. We could get a surprise. There are 2 surprises I'm working on.
Very cool. All right.
campaigning against it. But
yeah, right. All right, let's look at this next one. So, not everybody is duped by this. This is a Japanese woman, and her kind of take on the Pakistani immigrants that in Japan. She says she doesn't. Well, first of all, the news story here. Let me go back. I'll read the. First of all, this news story I'm introducing is outrageous. So please brace yourself and listen carefully. Apparently, the police could not intervene, and in Hokkaido, people from a country ranked 4th in the world for terrorism, a Pakistani settlement has suddenly emerged where Japanese people are being persecuted. A mysterious incident is happening. What's really scary about this is that Pakistan is supposedly a really dangerous country. There are only dangerous people there. Maybe only dangerous people are exaggerating. Is it an exaggeration? As for Pakistan, I'm referencing a post by Shinji Yamamoto on X. According to a survey of UK's BBC, some of the people always ask for the source. It's the BBC, so listen carefully. In the Arab world, more than half the population marries within their relatives. So it affects intelligence. In a BBC survey, 55% of the Pakistani community in the UK marry cousins. Let's see. Medical data says Pakistanis account for only 3.4% of births in the UK. Yet 30% of children with recessive genetic disorders are born to Pakistanis based. There is a serious impact on IQ. Children born to cousin parents see their IQ drop by 10 to 16 points. The risk of having an IQ under 70 increases by 400%. It is said to directly links to intellectual disability levels. So that means there are so many people at this level. As for what regularly happens in Pakistan, a woman is raped in Pakistan. The victim family said, if you want forgiveness, let us rape somebody in your family. And the perpetrator's family agreed, and the rapist's sister was then raped by the victim's brother. I mean, yeah, talk about seeing the problem clearly. I feel like this base post should get more traction than it has.
Facts, but
yes,
Japan's struggling with this right now, and I don't understand how they haven't just started going full on repel the invaders.
I'll be honest with you. If I were to guess any country in the world may go that way, it was Japan. And so this last video here on the Muslim portion is about Islamization of New York City. Let's see. First, it was taxpayer-funded Ramadan iftars at City Hall, which I think you guys talked about earlier in the week. Now, what Eid Mubarak, streetlights glowing over Harlem like it's freaking Karachi on 125th Street. Call to prayer blasting from minarets at dawn, waking up entire neighborhood to submit. Pakistani parades shutting down avenues while American flags get sidelined. And don't forget halal mandates creeping into public schools, because nothing says public education like forcing Islamic dietary rules on kids. This isn't diversity or inclusion. This is conquest by demographics. They're not assimilating. We're being replaced block by block, holiday by holiday, street light by street light. New Yorkers, wake the heck up before the last church becomes a mosque and the last hot dog stand serves only halal. How much more are you willing to surrender? Kind of goes back to what Charlie Kirk and Gad said we're talking about in the beginning of the segment. Now, there is a solution. In the response for remigration, which is the solution, by the way, we see an example of how this kind of disruption should be handled. An illegal alien just attacked the March for Remigration rally in Manchester. British patriots fought back. Do you support remigration? Yes, I do.
It's crazy.
I mean, the absolutely astronomical growth of the reform or the Restore Party is just evidence of where they are in England. The fact that people are arrested for having British flags or other European flags in other European countries is absolutely just unbelievable.
Yeah, the last two guys who did the kicks probably could get.
Yeah, that was,
but
a little much.
Yeah.
Tommy Robinson tried to warn them. Yeah. Well, he's in America now, warning us.
I mean, I'm inclined to say that historically the answer gets called the Crusades. So while we can review this and say, hey, legally speaking, you might be going a bridge too far, historically speaking, you're not going far enough.
Yeah, the first hit is self-defense. The second, third, and fourth, that's where it starts to get egregious. So, just stay legal, guys. That's all I'm saying.
I'll allow it.
Vlad Tepes did no wrong.
Vlad Tepes will lead. Will we have a military unit, 17th Infantry Vlad Tepes in the Crusader Reconquista Armada?
Yeah.
Gentlemen, that's all I got for the show today. A little over time, 2 hours, 37 minutes. Let's go around the horn. Joe, going into the weekend, thoughts on what we may see?
I think you'll see some protesting about the Iran war. I don't think it'll be all that big. I think they're going to save their big shot for next weekend with No Kings 2.0.
Yeah.
But you will see some. And just be prepared. Be aware, though, that the Islamic terror of last weekend hasn't gone away. So you could see attacks again throughout this weekend at churches and things like that. Be prepared. Think things through. Carry medical gear. Carry defensive tools, whatever is allowed in your area or not. We don't do things because we are allowed, right? We do things because we are free. So I'll leave it at that. And fill up your gas tank every single day.
Yeah, facts. Hard facts on that one.
Yeah.
I don't know that I have anything to add to that. That is precisely what I was thinking was going on. So just what Joe said.
Okay. Did we lose Scott?
No, I'm sorry. I'm
only to sleep.
For a minute, I thought you were gone. I thought your internet went out or something.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just saw something kind of shocking in my fucking feed. This is the kind of thing. If I share it, we'll be on here another 20 minutes.
Right.
Don, where are you at for the weekend?
Same place I was 2 minutes ago in agreement with Joe.
Yeah.
Well, I heard you agree. You can't just cop out. You got to come up with something new.
Well, there's not anything new, right? So I don't know. Iran's going to continue. People are going to continue to freak out about it. The takes are going to be ridiculously bad. You should ignore all of them.
Yes.
Yeah. For my prediction for this weekend, I think the left is going to take a victory lap on the fracturing of MAGA. Although honestly, looking at it, I don't know that it is true. Twitter is not MAGA. I want to toss that out there. Twitter is sometimes a reflection of real life, but usually not really. And particularly the closer we get to something that people can make money off of manipulating. So keep that in mind. But I think that what you will see way more of probably over the next couple days is the continuation of brother wars on our side of the influencer space after the Kent thing. So it'll be interesting to see how that winds up.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think that's a good place to end too, right? Like there are a lot of people out there that don't want to see us working together, right? They want to see a lot of disunity on our side of the aisle, and and let's be honest, when you hear somebody you trust say something bad about somebody else, it's easy to just kind of like, take that for, when a veteran who has a record like Joe Kent says something, either does something stupid, says something stupid, or there are extremely crazy allegations against him, I'm not saying it's not true, but don't immediately just jump to any conclusions on that, right? And don't trust everybody out there, especially people who don't have any firsthand knowledge, because you can always figure that somebody behind it wants you to be disagreeing with other people who agree with you, because that's how you win elections. It's the social engineering of the electorate, and it goes on constantly. So it's an op. That's the one thing I do know. I don't know what Joe Kent saw or heard or why he says what he says. I do know there's an op going on, and I'm sure he's stuck somewhere inside of it. So that's all I'll say.
Facts. Hard facts.
And let me just say, people who actually believe the types of things that we believe have no motivation to perpetrate an op like that. So it makes you wonder who might have those kind of thoughts behind it.
So it's worth going back to something that Watcher said a minute ago. I don't know that the division is real kind of thing. I would suggest, if you want to see all of the people who are abandoning MAGA, for who and what they are, go back and check what it was they were saying around the time of the election. And what you will find, to the tune of almost 100%, is I'm not MAGA, but I'm voting for Donald Trump because fuck Kamala Harris. And that seems to be where the division is.
Well put.
Yeah. All right. Guys, that's all I have for today. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you, Don, for joining us. Thank you, Joe, Watcher. You guys did an admirable job of holding it down while I was gone. Unavoidably pulled out of the, pulled away for the last 2 weeks. I'm back now, so we shouldn't have any disruptions in the near future or too near future. So we'll see if anything happens in the meantime. That being said, if you haven't done it already, please like the channel, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, comment down below, let us know what you're thinking of what we're doing. Tell your buddies, tell your friends, share on social media the link to the channel. That's about the only way we're ever going to get new people. Is by just kind of let them know that you're getting good information from us here on this channel. So for all of us, chat, you guys were awesome. We'll be back on Monday. Stay safe.